Before high school, Soo-Kan's mom constantly warned him not to date and to focus his energy on his studies. However, as soon as Soo-Kan went away to Jingdu University, his mom's attitude did a complete 180. She tried every trick in the book to urge Soo-Kan a date. Moreover, she hoped he would find someone from their hometown, Jiangnan City. His mom really gave him that life is a roller coaster feeling of absurdity. Look, here she went again. Mom, son, come home. The family isn't short on the money you'd make from summer job. You surely aren't eating well out there. Come back and ask out some former female classmates. It's better to find a partner from back home. Later on, when you have kids, your mother-in-law and I could both help take care of them. How great would that be? I'm not coming back. If you don't come back, your dad and I will go to Baidu City and drag you back. What are you doing? Oh my God, Mom. There are plenty of good girls at my university. No, son, I have some resources on eligible girls. Come back and meet them, otherwise I'm coming to find you. He didn't know why his mom was so obsessed with him finding a girl from their hometown. Seeing that his mom seemed serious, Soo-Kan really didn't want to go back right now. Really, there's no need, Mom. Actually, I have a girlfriend. I'm laying my cards on the table today. She goes to the university next door, and she's even from our Jiangnan City. Since you didn't go back this summer and stayed in Baidu City, I didn't go back either. Hearing it was the university next door, which would imply Tsinghua or Peking University, and most importantly that she was from Jiangnan City, Kan's mom, Dong Meijiao, was incredibly excited. Really? Son? Really? So I won't be coming back. If you're not coming back, then don't. But quick, let Mom see a photo of your partner. Soo-Kan was just bluffing his mom. Where'd he get a photo of her future daughter-in-law? If he had one, he wanted two, and he'd go date her right now. He had been single for 20 years, and the one time he confessed, he got rejected. He had sworn never to be a simp again. He checked his WeChat moments. Did any female classmate post a photo he could borrow? But that wasn't very proper, was it? Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. He really didn't have time to go back right now. Son, why haven't you sent it yet? Mom, I'm picking out a photo where she looks particularly good. Moments. He scrolled down, and a photo of a female classmate appeared. For Soo-Kan, before university, the distance between him and this classmate was absolutely like heaven and earth. If anyone said they could be together, he would have been mocked as a toad wanting to eat swan meat. But now, photo, saved, sent. The girl in the photo had exquisite features, was extremely beautiful, and possessed a temperament that was one in a million. Son, your taste is really on point, just as beautiful as your mom was back in the day. After saying that, Dong Meijiao sent a black and white photo of herself from back then. In the photo, Dong Meijiao was indeed a beauty, with balanced features and a slender figure. Of course, with Mom's standard right there, I can't do worse than Dad did. Soo-Kan felt that he had settled his mom. She definitely wouldn't nag him about finding a girlfriend anymore. He put the phone aside and started eating his takeout. Dong Meijiao fell in love with that pretty girl the moment she saw her. Those looks, that class. Unable to contain herself, she posted about Soo-Kan's girlfriend to the One Happy Family group chat. Mom, dear family, I have good news to tell you all. My son Soo-Kan has a girlfriend. In a great mood, Mama Dong sent a 200 yuan red packet directly into the group. Immediately, someone snatched it in seconds. Cousin Lingling, whose signature was good for nothing but fastest hands at grabbing red packets, wrote, "Congrats, Auntie. Congrats, cousin. Uncle, congratulations to Soo-Kan on getting a girlfriend." Next, the group was flooded with copy-pasted messages. Congratulations to Soo-Kan on getting a girlfriend. Eldest aunt, Kankan is really doing great. Teach your eldest cousin too. He's been graduated for years and hasn't dated anyone yet. I'm worried sick. Dad. Wife. How come I didn't know about this? Did our son just tell you? All right, that brat actually didn't tell me. I'll settle the score later, but today, as a dad, I'm very happy, very happy. My son has a partner. Uncle, brother-in-law, don't just talk without action. You should send a red packet like my sister did. Cousin Lingling, right, eldest uncle-in-law, sending red packets is more practical. The more red packets you send, the happier you are. Third aunt's husband, sitting and waiting for brother-in-law to send it. The phone kept making beeping sounds. Soo-Kan was sweating. In just a short while, his mom had made the fact that he had a girlfriend known to the whole world. Eldest cousin, Soo-Kan, Introduce your girlfriend to the family. Cousin Lingling. I want to see cousin-in-law, too. Uncle. Suggests Sue can invite his girlfriend to our family group chat so the lass can integrate into our big family ahead of time. Once Kankin graduates, we'll drink at his wedding. Aunt, I don't think that's a good idea. They're just a young couple dating. We might scare her off acting like this. Over here, Sukin was just preparing to say in the group that this wasn't a good proposal, but he received a private message from his mom first. Mom, son, did you see the messages in the group? Such a wonderful girlfriend. Pull her into our family group so she can feel our family atmosphere. Sukin felt like this was an absolute disaster. Mom, why did you just say that in the group? Son, such a happy event is definitely a moment to share with the family. Your uncle is asking if you can add your girlfriend to the group to experience the liveliness of our big family. She doesn't have to talk much. Just tell her to join and grab red packets. Let me reply to everyone in the group all at once. Okay. Sukin, my dear family members, regarding this matter, I need to respect my girlfriend Lynn Laurent's wishes. After all, she is a girl and might be shy. Older cousin, Sukin, we're waiting for you. Do you have a photo of your partner? Let us see it first. Mom, I do. Dong Meijiao immediately sent the photo. Sukin had sent her into the group. First, the group went weirdly quiet for 30 seconds, then suddenly it boiled over like hot water. Cousin Lingling. Cousin, you have great taste. Cousin-in-law is way away, too pretty. Aunt, I also think this girl is as pretty as a movie star. Dad, you brat, just as impressive as I was back in the day. Grandpa maternal good grandson. Grandpa likes this grandson-in-law. Grandpa paternal grandson, I acknowledge this granddaughter-in-law. If you don't treat her well, I won't acknowledge you as my grandson. Dad, my daughter-in-law is great. I'll send everyone another red packet. How is one enough? It has to be at least 10 big ones. Fine, 10 big ones it is, besides Sue's dad sending them. He then insisted that Sue Can's uncles, aunts, and other elders couldn't just grab them but had to send them too. This thrilled cousin Lingling, the younger generation, and the female relatives to no end, and they grabbed red packets nonstop. Sukin had particularly good luck. He kept grabbing large amounts. In just that short while, he snatched 866. 6 yuan in red packets. Seeing his family so enthusiastic, Sukin had originally intended to say later in the group that Lin Luoran was thin-skinned and not ready yet, which would make the family a little disappointed. But seeing so many red packets, he thought, if he bought another SIM card, registered an account, and joined the group using Lin Luoran's profile picture, wouldn't he be able to grab even more red packets after joining? Anyway, getting another card wouldn't cost much, and his phone supported dual SIMs. Sukin felt he was too smart. For the sake of red packets, for the family's happiness, and to stop his mom from pestering him about finding a partner in the future, Sukin went downstairs, got another SIM card with the cheapest plan, registered a number, and uploaded Lin Laurent's photo as the profile picture. Then he used this account to add his own account. He logged out, logged back into his social media account with his other phone number, successfully added Lin Luoran, the fake one, and then proceeded to add his friend Lin Luoran to the We Are a Loving Family group. At this moment, Sukin completely failed to notice that the real Lin Luoran on the other end had also changed her profile picture to that same photo from her moments, and had changed her social media handle to her real name. And so, Sukin mistakenly added the real Lin Luoran to the family group. Family, I'm pulling my girlfriend into the group now, just waiting for her to accept. After adding her and sending that last sentence, he logged in with the fake Lin Luoran account, ready to accept the group invitation. But he discovered that, aside from successfully adding himself as a friend, why was there no notification to join the group? While Sukin was totally confused, ding, the sound of vibration came from Lin Luoran's phone. She saw it was an invite to join a group. Recently, sending red packets in social groups had become very trendy. People would start sending them at the drop of a hat, and girls nowadays love this the most. Lin Luoran was applying a face mask. She glanced at her phone without looking closely and clicked accept. By the time Sukin switched back to his own account to figure out the reason, he nearly fainted. His phone ran out of battery at the critical moment. It felt just like finishing up on the toilet and realizing you didn't bring paper. Next, Sukin had no choice but to eat his takeout, first while waiting for the phone to charge a bit. When Sukin turned his phone back on and logged into WeChat, The family group had already exploded. There were even more messages than before, and a heavier rain of red packets. Even his youngest cousin Lingling, who was usually stingy, only grabbing red packets and never sending a single one, had actually sent a red packet. Sukin looked at the red packets that still hadn't been fully claimed. He knew that for every family member in the group, there was a corresponding number of packets sent. Yet, despite the red packets, he was in no mood to grab them, especially the latest message. Lin Luoran. Thanks for the red envelope, cousin Lingling. Sukan's eyes went wide. Had he pulled the wrong person earlier and added the real Lin Luoran? And she actually accepted, and she was chatting happily in his family group? He had accidentally added the school goddess to the family group, and she was having a blast chatting. What on earth was going on? He scrolled all the way back to the last message he sent, looking at the family group chat history. Mom, welcome Xiaolin. Followed by a red envelope. Dad, welcome Xiaolin. Followed by another red envelope. Uncle, welcome Luoran. Red envelope. Eldest uncle-in-law, welcome Luoran. Red envelope. Older cousin, welcome Sister Luoran. Younger cousin, welcome Sister Luoran. Over a dozen big red envelopes. Lin Luoran loved red envelopes the most. Back then, Lin Luoran kept tapping on the red envelopes. She didn't even look at the chat content. She just grabbed the red envelopes first. There were too many, and the ones she snatched were huge. The smallest was 20 yuan. After grabbing a dozen or so, she had several hundred yuan. She was so excited she abandoned her face mask. After grabbing 3 more super big red envelopes, one of which was 68 yuan, Lin Luoran was so happy she shouted about how great her luck was. After grabbing over 400 yuan in red envelopes, Lin Luoran finally paid attention to the group. The group name was a family that loves each other, but looking at those unfamiliar, unverified account names, she didn't recognize a single one. Surely someone made a mistake adding her to this family group. It wouldn't be right to just grab the money and leave. Besides, it seemed everyone knew her and called her by name. But what kind of family was this? She didn't recognize any of the profile pictures. Since she had grabbed so many red envelopes, she sent her first message in the group. Thank you all for the welcome, and thank you for the red envelopes. It's only right for our daughter-in-law. Our whole family is overjoyed that my son Sue can find a girlfriend like you. Nanny, what daughter-in-law? And it's Sue. Sue Can? Isn't that the dark horse classmate from high school? Lin Luoran opened the group member list, and sure enough, she saw Sue Can there. He was the second member right after the group owner, which meant this was classmate Sue Can's family group. But when did she become classmate Sue Can's girlfriend? That's Sue Can. Are you being pressured to find a partner, so you want me to play along after adding me to the group? Lin Luoran then thought about how she was pursued by too many people at university, including some who stuck like plasters. Also, having been scouted by a talent agent in her freshman year and occasionally going out for events, she was coveted by many men in society. Lin Luoran felt she could let classmate Sue Can play along with her occasionally too. If she announced she had a boyfriend at school, others wouldn't keep sticking to her, right? And for those men in society, my boyfriend is coming to pick me up, it would be a great shield. And so, classmate Sue Can stared at the chat history with a look of utter confusion. Mom, Xiaolin, I'm Sue Can's mother, your future mother-in-law. When Sue Can showed me your photo, I felt you were destined to be my future daughter-in-law. I liked you the moment I saw you. Lin Luoran. Hello, Auntie. Thank you for liking me. Grandpa. Xiaolin. I'm Sue Can's grandpa. In my old age, I like to study the I Ching. Do you remember your birth date and time? I'll match your horoscope with Canner's to see if they clash and what to avoid in the future. Lin Luoran. Grandpa. I only know my birthday and that my mom gave birth to me around 4 in the afternoon. I don't understand the specific astrological hours. That works too. Grandpa will look up the time for you. Lin Luoran. Grandpa, I was born on March 16th, after 4 p.m. Cousin Lingling, sister-in-law, March 16th is Pisces, and my brother, Ken, is Aquarius. Pisces can totally handle Aquarius. Brother Ken will never escape the palm of your hand. Remembering that Sue Can had pursued a girl in high school back then, causing quite a sensation, Lin Luoran said complainingly. Cousin Lingling, I feel like horoscopes aren't entirely reliable. Your brother isn't well behaved in front of me. When he liked me, He also liked another girl and confessed to her first. He only came to me after getting rejected. Humph. Sister-in-law. My cousin must have had something wrong with him back then. With such a beautiful sister-in-law in front of him, he confessed to someone else? Luckily, he's not blind anymore. Lin Luoran. Haha. Sue mom complained. Sue Kin, that brat, actually did something like that? I didn't guard against that in high school. He confessed to someone, and it wasn't to my Shaolin. I'll definitely beat him when he gets back. Looking at the chat content about his rejected confession. That was in high school. That year, he was too young. Back then, who didn't harbor a secret crush on the school beauty, Lin Luoran? She had an invincible first love face in grades that consistently dominated the top 3 in the grade. Therefore, before he became a dark horse in the college entrance exam, he never felt he was someone who would have any future intersection with her. Moreover, pursuing the kind of girl was high pressure. Even if a confession was successful, he would have to study frantically to get into the same university she was capable of attending. He felt it was too stressful. After all, she was Qingbei material, an existence he could only look up to. However, back then there was a fierce little girl in the class named Zhuang Meina. She had a 30-60 chest and a devilish figure. He was blindly confident that he had a shot. After all, he was handsome, and their grades were neck and neck. Yet, in the end, his confession was brutally rejected. After the rejection, he realized she was actually an art student. Even with a score of 300 or 400, she could get into a first-rate university because the admission scores for art candidates were lower. But later, to everyone's surprise, Su Kan suddenly gained admission to Jingdu University, a university that only top students could enter and which was on par with Qingbei. Su Kan, now you have a chance to chase the even prettier Lin Luoran, his old classmates said enviously. But having sworn never to be a simp again in this life, he said, why should I confess to her or chase her? Why can't she confess to me and chase me? Brotherkin is awesome. However, after both of them went to the 2 best universities in the capital, which weren't very far apart, they actually didn't have much interaction. Su Kan, amidst the multitude of geniuses at Jingdu University, chose to sweep through the entire university library during his freshman year. Lin Luoran was completely different from Su Kan. After more than a decade of studying hard, she unleashed her nature upon entering university. It wasn't just in her studies. She improved herself in all aspects. She joined clubs and participated in a campus singing competition. A video of her was discovered by a talent scout, and she filmed some scenes during her freshman year, though they hadn't aired yet. Although she wasn't famous on the silver screen yet, she was undoubtedly a legendary figure on campus. Combining talent and beauty, she held various titles like the Qingbei Goddess and School Beauty. Even the other campus beauties of Jingdu paled in comparison to her. Her reputation rang loud and clear at Jingdu University. Su Kan, on the other hand, had almost no presence among the tens of thousands of students at Jingdu University, especially since he spent all day soaking in the corners of the library. Many students in his own class wouldn't necessarily recognize him. After his freshman year ended, Su Kan told his family he was working a summer job away from home. In reality, he wasn't working a summer job, but had rented an apartment in a complex near the Baidu City Library. The university library could no longer satisfy him. He wanted to continue by sweeping through the Baidu City Library. The reason for sweeping through these libraries was that he had obtained a system one day before his college entrance exam. The system had helped him become a dark horse during the exam back then. However, the system had nearly cost Su Kan half his life at that time. The exam felt like it had drained him completely. In truth, the system had extracted his energy because its own energy was consumed by the task, leaving him bedridden for over a month. It wasn't that the system's function had side effects, but rather that Su Kan's reserves were insufficient. Therefore, for the past year since entering university, he had been constantly building up reserves and gaining experience points. Because the system allowed him to gain experience by learning various kinds of knowledge, and experience could upgrade his various abilities, and of course, completing tasks could also yield experience rewards. But due to his reserves being too low, the feeling of nearly being drained into a dry corpse during the first exam task made Su Kan frantically read books to grind experience points. This was the reason he swept through the university library and was now sweeping through the Baidu City Library. Currently, the way he read books was different from ordinary people. He turned pages rapidly, his eyes and brain inputting data like a supercomputer. In a moment, Sukin zoned out. The group chat had already accumulated several hundred unread messages. The Qingbei goddess and school beauty Lin Luoran was simply chatting up a storm with his family. Sukin scrolled back to where he had last looked. His own mother was already siding with the outsider. He didn't know who her biological child was anymore. Little Lin, I will stand on your side and form a united front with you. I'm not like those other mothers-in-law who make things difficult for their daughters-in-law. I'm not that kind of person. You'll know after we've spent more time together. Dad, little Lin, Uncle will also stand on your side. If Sukin bullies you, tell Uncle, and Uncle will break his dog legs. Hee. Thank you, Uncle. If you two get married in the future and want to live your own lives as a couple, or if you find Annie annoying, Annie and Uncle won't live with you or disturb you too. If you have children and need us to babysit, we are duty-bound to help. Otherwise, we will absolutely not disturb you. Mom, little Lin, Annie's talking a bit much today. Actually, Annie isn't a nagging person. I'm just too happy today. Empress Dowager Dong had not only defected from her son, but was also acting humbly in front of Lin Luoran. This Lin Luoran, who dominated everything at school and sat high atop the list of goddesses in the capital's universities, had now completely conquered his family as well. Was this a distortion of human nature or a decay of morality? She had actually charmed everyone, men, women, the old, and the young alike. Just like that, she had conquered his entire family group. But Lin Luoran wasn't his girlfriend. She didn't leave the group. Instead, she was chatting happily. What was her intention? Sukin felt he should have a talk with Lin Luoran. Sukin, Lin Luoran, pulling you into my family group was a misunderstanding. Sorry about that. You can leave now. Lin Luoran. Why should I leave? Sukin was depressed. Nanny, this is my family group. Lin Luoran. Now it's mine too. After uploading his chapter, Sukin felt incredibly sleepy. Skipping a shower, he collapsed onto the bed after a night of typing and fell right asleep. Snore. Sukin could prove it. When a person is exhausted, they can hear their own snoring when they sleep, because he actually heard his own snoring after drifting off. From 6 in the morning, Sukin slept until 1 in the afternoon. Washing up, he looked in the mirror at another day of being unremarkably handsome. Then he had breakfast. No, it should be lunch. He heated up the bento box he bought yesterday. While eating, he looked at the chat history in his family group on his phone. It was too lively. As soon as he opened it, there were over 1,000 messages. With a family chat group like this, they produced 1 gigabyte of content for him every day. If it weren't for his phone having enough storage, and of course the fact that the family group claimed every message was a big red packet, he would have deleted this group, even at the risk of being annihilated by his mom. Today, Sukin's mom had gotten up early to send red packets. This time, it wasn't a group red packet, but an exclusive one. Mom, little Lin, go buy yourself a nice breakfast. Thanks for the red packet, Annie. Series of grinning emojis, such love for red packets. Your teeth look so white when you smile. Sukin felt that if a girl could love him the way she loved red packets, her eyes would definitely be sparkling. He continued scrolling through the chat history. Cousin Lingling, Auntie, don't you love me anymore? Mom, I love you too. So, Mom sent a group red packet as well. I love everyone. Scrolling a bit more, he saw Uncle had sent a red packet too. Temperatures are high today. Family members buy some water to drink. Thanks, Uncle. May the boss get rich. Flattery gets you everywhere. Uncle coolly sent an avatar wearing black sunglasses. I'm going to close a deal on a project today. Why get back tonight? I'll send 8 big red packets in a row to the family. 8 big red packets. That's 1,600 yuan. That's awesome. Third aunt's daughter, Cousin Lingling, immediately sucked up, wishing Uncle victory right from the start. Even though he was his uncle, Cousin Lingling called him even more affectionately than he did. Yesterday, Grandpa found out Lin Luoran's Ba Zi, 8 characters. Today, Grandpa talked a lot. Lin Luoran was stunned by Grandpa's words. She, a top student at Qingbei University, couldn't understand the 8 characters Grandpa was talking about at all. Little Lin's 8 characters. The official star is useful. The official is in the month stem and prosperous in the month command. met by the year stem of the same gender. The root and treasury are not injured, and the month stem wealth combines with the self. What on earth was this about? Cousin Lingling, Grandpa, I was born after 2000. I don't understand this at all. Simply put, little Lin's fate matches extremely well with Canner. Specifically, why was this family group so lively? It was because there were solid middle-class people like Uncle and Sue Can's mom who loved giving big red packets, a younger generation who loved big red packets, and an older generation who loved to join the fun. As for his relationship with Lin Luoran, they weren't dating at all. So where did the relationship come from? But Grandpa made their compatibility sound so real with the 8 characters. Missing out before makes one cherish the future more. Even the high IQ Lin Luoran was stunned into listening. It sounded convincing. Were she and Sue can really a match made in heaven? Here, Sue can finished scrolling through the chat history and arrived at the library. Today he continued to grind for experience points. He wasn't grinding literature for now. He would max out the other categories first. That way, he would feel omnipotent in terms of knowledge. With these reserves, he could support his use of the system store. Otherwise, if he used it without enough reserves, he'd wreck himself. He remembered that the college entrance exam had nearly cost him half his life. Soon, he would be like a fish in the sea. The items in the system store were powerful. The college entrance exam allowed him to go from the tail end of a 300-point class to over 600 points, increasing by several hundred points. Talk about defying the heavens. When the results were released, everyone was shocked, including himself. He never thought in a million years that he would one day get into Kyoto University, a top domestic institution on the same level as Lin Luoran. If he had known this earlier, he definitely wouldn't have confessed to that Zhuang Meina. Although her chest was bigger than Lin Luoran's, thinking of her, Sukin had only one thing to say. What's so great about studying art? Back then, Zhuang Meina had said to him, I study art. My scores are low, but I pass my professional courses, so I can still go to a good university. We aren't actually meant to turn screws in a factory together. Fuck. At the editorial department of the Tomato Novel website, editor Ta Lang was looking at Sue Can's novel submission. This book was interesting. Although it wasn't the same genre as the site's previous hits, it still attracted him to keep reading. Overall, the opening structure was a bit slow, but the story architecture and character development were very good. The narrative style was seasoned and classic, the author's writing was excellent, and the language was witty and humorous. The underlying concept, focusing on guarding, was also good. It was the kind of work that felt refreshing. So, he decisively decided to sign it. He approved Sue Can's contract application. He didn't know if this book would become a hit, but he was prepared to support and follow this book closely. On Sue Can's end, he hadn't downloaded the Tomato Novel website's Writer's Assistant app, so he didn't yet know the news that his novel had been approved for signing. He was grinding away at the library, grinding experience points. It was nonstop. He had a rest every half hour. It wasn't because his brain couldn't keep up, but because his eyes couldn't take it. During these times, he would close his eyes for a while, look at the girls in the library, or look at the big birds outside the window. Now, he had one more thing to watch. Previously, he would only check the family group chat after going home or while eating. After all, his family members were too talkative. In no time, the messages would number in the 3 or 4 digits, thousands of them. Sometimes, they even hit 10,000 a day. Reading through them took half a day, which really delayed his experience grinding. Now that his experience points were almost at the target, and with the addition of someone related to him in the family group, Sukin would occasionally peek at the We Are a Loving family group. He felt like there was a time bomb in there now. He had been denounced last night, and he didn't know what kind of trouble Lin Luoran was going to stir up next. Fortunately, today was calm and quiet. He hadn't had a vexing afternoon while grinding experience. He had merely shocked a girl wearing Lolita fashion and glasses from Jingdu University. Is there really someone who reads like this? Reading 10 lines at a glance would be practically slow as molasses to this brother. This brother reads a page at a glance. Deliberately showing off his reading speed in front of me? She muttered. Is that reading? That's just flipping pages, isn't it? Is that even useful? Honestly, this way of reading had been criticized not only at the Jingdu University Library, but also at the Jingdu City Library, where people had whispered similar things. Usually, he would just sweep a glance at them, not because he was too disdainful to feel anything, but because he didn't have time to bother with them. However, coming from this girl in the Lolita dress, a young lady with a high-quality, adorable face and big eyes, the scorn felt different. Sukin felt very annoyed. He didn't like being insulted by pretty girls. He had to tease her. No, he had to have a chat with her. Anyway, it wasn't the first time he'd slacked off today. He said to the girl in the Lolita dress, "The books I just read, you can pick any one at random. Ask me about the content inside, and see if I can retell it." The girl didn't believe him. "You're just bragging." Then she casually pulled out a book, The Debate on Quantization and Continuity. The girl felt this book should be somewhat difficult. After all, it wasn't a textbook for memorization. Should she change it? Sukin signaled with his eyes for her to open it. Then the other party opened the book. "Tell me which page you turned to." "Page 128. Then Sukin recited the content from inside. Continuity is a concept more difficult to understand than quantization. For example, can you name which number is continuous with 1? Is it 1, 1, or 1, 0, 1, or 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1? No matter which number you say, there are countless numbers sandwiched between it and 1. So which number is actually connected to 1? The first paragraph, word for word. The girl in the Lolita dress raised her head and looked at him in surprise. He actually memorized it? Someone draws a line on paper. Isn't this line continuous? Although, to the naked eye, the paper has a continuous line if you observe with a magnifying glass. Or say, a microscope magnifying hundreds or thousands of times, you will see it is not continuous at all. After 10,000 times magnification, what you see are atoms vibrating strictly one by one, definitely not continuous. The next paragraph was another perfect retelling, causing the girl in the Lolita dress to look at Sukin in utter astonishment. Sukin continued, paragraph after paragraph. The girl in the Lolita dress looked horrified. This was too impressive. He memorized it all just by flipping through it. Sukin was still continuing. Then time and space should be continuous, right? Actually, time and space are discontinuous. Analyzing the paradox of Achilles and the tortoise, infinity and infinitesimals are concepts conjured in people's minds. Theoretically, Achilles cannot catch the tortoise, but everyone knows he will catch it quickly. He cannot divide the chasing process into infinite parts. Time and space cannot be infinitely divided. In other words, time and space are discontinuous. He finished reciting the page. The girl in the Lolita dress was immediately shocked into a daze. Not a single word wrong. How did he do that? Does he have a camera in his brain that just snapped a picture? Are you human? You aren't a robot, are you? I'm not a robot. I'm a human. I just read things relatively fast and have a strong memory. I can pretty much memorize something with just a glance. Humans record and store information through their brains. Back when he completed the task of the college entrance exam and got into Jingdu University, the system granted Sukin godlike reading and memory abilities. You are definitely not human. Human beings can't do that. If you're a robot, then you're a ghost. The girl in the Lolita dress took several steps back. Sukin was speechless. He deliberately made a scary face. I am a ghost. I'm coming to find you in the middle of the night tonight. Ah! The girl in the Lolita dress fled. Ghost! Sukin was speechless. Damn, she must read too many ghost stories. Is there a ghost as handsome as me? Even if I crawled into your bed, it would be your gain. Why run? In the afternoon, the Baidu City Library closed. Although he had been goofing around in the library all day, Sukin still managed to grind his physics subject level from proficient to expert professor. The basic physics books he ground through today were full of substance. One of them actually gave him 50 experience points at once. Originally lacking only 100 points, he ground through a few dozen more ordinary physics books and pushed his experience straight to 30,000. He now had the capital to appear on an equal footing in professional knowledge with physics professors from Jingdu and Qingbei universities. So, he didn't plan to borrow more books to continue grinding physics problems tonight. He hadn't suppressed his desire to create last night and had written a novel. Today he would go back and continue typing. Writing a blockbuster hit would reward him with 1,000 points. The allure of the system store to Sukin was greater than 1,000,000 yuan. Back then, the system store was the existence that turned him from a poor student to a top scholar overnight, getting him into Jingdu University. It was simply an existence that could change a person's destiny in an instant. Right, when he reached 30,000 experience points in physics today, he also obtained 300 points from the system. He now had 600 points and could see what he could exchange for in the system store. Entering the virtual system store, Sukin saw that both the literature and physics sections had lit up. He first clicked on literature and then its web novel classification. The system displayed many skills. Hand speed, 50,000, required 300 points to exchange. God tier plot, required 500 points to exchange. Genre creator, required 10,000 points to exchange. His current hand speed wasn't slow. 20,000 words a day was absolutely high yield in the industry. There was no need to increase it to 50,000 words a day. Genre creator needed 1,000. Wait, no, that's an extra zero, 10,000 points. That's ridiculous. The whole system store only rewarded 1,000 points for completing his task. He wasn't interested in creating a genre for now anyway. So, Sukin prepared to exchange for God tier plot. Let's make himself famous in the novel world first. After all, in this era where web novels are highly developed and stories are as vast as the sea, it's not easy to become popular, let alone achieve God status. So he would grasp the God tier plot granted by the system and write a blockbuster. After returning from the library in the afternoon, Sukin immediately prepared to type and open the author dashboard. He received a contract offer via text message. Your work, I Slay Gods in the Mental Hospital, has been evaluated and approved by editor Talon. Please log into the PC dashboard to operate the signing process and add the editor's social account, 863763003X, to discuss signing matters. He clicked to agree to the contract and added the editor's social account, but the other party didn't reply immediately. It was likely a work account, and it was off hours now. Sukin didn't care when the editor would add him back. He directly started typing in the dashboard. Having exchanged for God tier plot, he wrote 30,000 words in one breath, from 6 o'clock until 12 midnight, with an input speed as high as 5,000 words per hour. Even under such high-speed typing, he completed the God tier plot with the highest quality. This kind of God tier plot was something that could make a web novel an instant classic. If other web authors knew he finished it in just one night, they would probably die of envy. Moreover, achieving God tier status within just 50,000 words was absolutely rare in the world of web novels. After all, web novels typically span millions of words. Most authors have to lay the groundwork for hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of words before a God tier plot sequence can emerge. Yet now, within a mere 50,000 words, 30,000 were dedicated to such a sequence. Not even the books of top-tier platinum authors had accomplished this. After completing this God tier plot, Sukin suffered none of the side effects he had experienced back during his college entrance exams when he used items from the system store, which had resulted in him falling seriously ill. Now, he merely felt a bit fatigued, likely because it was late at night and his body needed rest. He didn't feel physically drained at all. Still, rest was mandatory. At least the system hadn't yet modified him into an Iron Man who didn't need to sleep. Before going to sleep, Sukin lay in bed and scrolled through his phone for a while. He focused on the "We Are a Loving Family" group chat. Previously, his grandparents, both paternal and maternal, would only snatch red envelopes. However, their social media accounts hadn't been linked to bank cards. Today, the four elders had asked their sons to link their bank cards for them in the evening, and then the older generation started sending out red envelopes. A belated red envelope from Grandpa, welcoming our good granddaughter-in-law, Lin Luoran. A belated red envelope from Grandma, welcoming our good granddaughter-in-law, Lin Luoran. A belated red envelope from maternal grandma, welcoming our good granddaughter-in-law, Lin Luoran. A belated red envelope from maternal grandpa, welcoming our good granddaughter-in-law, Lin Luoran. Tapping open the red envelopes from his grandparents, Sukin felt a wave of emotion, but also a twinge of jealousy. They had never linked their cards to send him red envelopes. Yet for the sake of Lin Luoran, the elders had all seemingly coordinated to link their cards and send money. But why be jealous? They were only doing this because she was his partner. Otherwise, they wouldn't be sending them. Then, looking at Lynn Laurent's sweet words to the grandparents. This girl had no conscience, scamming money for the elderly. She even said something like, the more red envelopes there are, the more it shows Grandpa and Grandma's doting love. She also posted a few photos of herself bowing in thanks with hand clasped. Her fair, exquisite face feigned a look of delicate innocence, thoroughly triggering the elders' protective instincts. The elders spent the entire evening sending red envelopes. This is too much. Lynn Laurent, are you there? I need to have a talk with you. There. Are you there or not? Reply to me. Checking the time, it was 12:30 a.m. The campus goddess had probably gone to get her beauty sleep. He had to let it go for today. The 30,000 words he had written earlier had been uploaded. This book, which hadn't even been signed by an editor yet, was spotted by individual readers in the recently updated column. After clicking in, they read through all 50,000 words in one go and immediately cried out in satisfaction. Ahead lies Huaxia. Gods are forbidden from passing. One reader posted the most hot-blooded line from the book in the reviews. This reader was a veteran bookworm. I slay gods in a mental hospital. This new book released on Tomato Novels is amazing. Although it only has 50,000 words, I stayed up all night to finish it. He strongly recommended it on Long Kong, Tieba, Dubon, and other places where novel enthusiasts gathered. In the middle of the night, many night owl bookworms saw this post. Claims to be a 15-year veteran reader, yet stays up all night for 50,000 words? Laughable. I can finish 50,000 words in half an hour. I'm going to check it out. I Slay Gods in a Mental Hospital is super good. I finished it, and I'm staying up to read it again. It's just too good. The word count is low, so I can only reread it. A single spark can start a prairie fire. In just the span of a single night, I Slay Gods in the Mental Hospital became a god-tier book passed around by word of mouth among veteran readers. Then, many bloggers on various channels began recommending it. A rookie and signed book was showing an unstoppable trend of going viral. Naturally, Sukan knew none of this. Lynn Laurent woke up in the morning and saw the messages from Sukan. Sending messages at 12 or 1 in the morning, was there something wrong with him, or did he just miss her in the middle of the night? She felt the former was more likely. Luckily, she was witty enough to set her phone to airplane mode, so no one could disturb her beauty sleep. I was sleeping last night. What did you need in the middle of the night? Eye roll emoji. At this moment, Sukan was still cultivating the art of sleep, so naturally he couldn't reply. Seeing Sukan didn't reply, Lynn Laurent put down her phone and started her beautiful day, grooming herself in front of the mirror. Early in the morning, Tomato Novels editor Talon woke up. His first thought was to check if the rookie author Sanjiu had updated I Slay Gods in a Mental Hospital. That book seemed to possess a strange magic that made him want to read it the moment he woke up. The urge to chase updates was incredibly strong. When he saw that the author had updated 30,000 words in one breath, he felt it was absolute GOAT status and immediately started reading. This book, this plot, it's the first time I've ever seen anything like it. At first, it felt completely fresh, then my blood began to boil. After finishing, I was left wanting more, wishing to read it again. It resonated so deeply. This is an entirely new God-conferring plotline. This 30,000 character plot segment unmistakably sets the book on a path to becoming a classic. This book is going to be a hit. He was so excited he didn't even brush his teeth, heading straight for the company. Having gone to bed early yesterday, Sukan woke up past 9 in the morning. He received a few private messages and many family group chat messages. Sukan first clicked on the friend requests. Last night, he remembered adding the editor's social media account from the Zhangxi novel website. It must have been the editor who added him, as he was going to finalize the contract today. Only novels signed with the Zhangxi novel website could receive small gifts and tips from readers. His God-conferring plot might not get him $1,000,000 or even thousands in tips from big spenders, but surely his dear readers wouldn't begrudge a few yuan, would they? With the system blessing him with inspiration for a God-conferring plot, Sukan felt it wouldn't be much worse than the legendary books he read in high school. Indeed, upon clicking, it was a successful mutual friend request notification from Talon. Although he used to be just a reader, he had joined some author fan groups before. He heard that editors were often aloof, and authors had to lick boots when chatting with their editors. But seeing his editor, Talon, Sukan felt he wasn't aloof at all, but very enthusiastic. Last night, upon seeing his gender was male, he was even prepared to lick boots for once. If it were a female editor, he wouldn't. He would never lick boots for women again in this life. Female editors were out. A man he hadn't tried. It seems he wouldn't need to after all. Great Sanjiu. I'm your editor, Talong. Your book is really good, excellent. Please fill in your details in the back end and complete the signing. I'm very much looking forward to your Slayer of Gods, and I'll be following your book every day. Thank you, Editor Talong, for having such high hopes for my book. I'll work hard and update 30,000 characters daily. When Talong heard 30,000 daily, for some authors, more updates were definitely better. But Sanji's book clearly had a God-conferring plot and was destined to become a classic. Talong thought it was better to maintain quality and stable updates, even if it was just 2,000 characters a day. If the book was good, everything else would follow. Now, this Sanjiu was saying he would update 30,000 daily. Even writing a running commentary couldn't be that fast, let alone Slayer of Gods, which currently looked like an excellent quality book. Great Sanjiu, from an editor's perspective, I believe quality is more important than speed for your book. Of course, if you can maintain quality while updating more, that would be the absolute best, because I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the story. The more you write, the more enjoyable it is for me to read. Understood. I will ensure quality and also update 30,000 characters daily. I want to challenge Lao Ying, the top-speed online novelist. Do you have a lot of stored drafts? I don't have a single word in reserve. Well, that's not really possible. I still recommend focusing on stable quality. I'm very optimistic about Great Sanjiu's book. Although it's just a seedling now, I already see Sanjiu as having the potential of a master, the momentum of a great god. I will provide Great Sanjiu with all resources to help you achieve legendary status. Didn't they say authors had to lick boots to their editors? Why does this feel wrong? It's as if the boss is licking his boots in advance. Sukin figured it was probably his God-conferring plot that had utterly amazed the boss. Next, under Talong's comprehensive one-stop service, the contract signing was quickly completed. Signing contracts now was much more convenient than printing them out before. Electronic signing could be completed online. During the signing, Sukin didn't even have time to slack off, taking photos of both sides of his ID card with his phone, then his bank card. Only after completing the signing did he have time to look at his phone again. Lin Luoran hadn't replied last night, but did so after waking up today. Last night, she tricked his grandparents and maternal grandparents out of their red envelopes. And now she was asking him why he was looking for her in the middle of the night. If she had admitted it voluntarily, he might have forgiven her, as he was in a good mood after just signing his first novel. But she showed no sign of remorse whatsoever. This, he really couldn't tolerate. In my family group chat, you've already snatched enough red packets. You can leave the group now, classmate Lin Luoran. Leaving the group? That's not happening. If I were the group owner, I'd kick you out in a heartbeat. How can you be so harsh with me? In high school, you were such a lickspittle to Zhuang Meina. Why are you so fierce with me? Tell me, what do I lack compared to her? I can easily name one. Your chest isn't as good as hers. It's like you're malnourished. A runway. I'm not as flat as you say. I have curves. Words alone are not enough proof. Send me a photo. Wait for it. Waiting online. Sukin was very excited, not expecting to see a runway or curves, but because he had successfully provoked Lin Luoran into his trap. A moment later, Lin Luoran's message arrived. But message unsent. What the hell? I'm certainly not sending it to you. Want to use a photo to threaten me into quitting the group? No way. It was so close, yet I actually got busted. Really fell short at the last hurdle. Because Sukin was indeed thinking exactly that. As long as Lin Luoran sent the photo, he would save it and immediately threaten her to quit the group. He didn't want to cooperate anymore. She was just scamming red packets from his grandpa, grandma, and maternal grandparents. He really couldn't tolerate it. If she didn't withdraw from his family group, he would threaten to post her photo to the high school class group, post it on the Qingbei University forum, and upload it to the internet. Lin Luoran would inevitably quit the group. Then he could add his alt account back in, claiming he had left by mistake earlier. Plus, the imagination was perfect, but it was seen through by the cunning Lin Luoran. Just you wait. I will definitely find a way to kick you out of the group. After chatting with Lin Luoran, Sue can prepare to open the We Are One Big Happy Family group to see what the family members were chatting about while walking towards the Baidu City Library. He still had to continue going to the library during the day to grind experience points. Once full, he would get points, and points are good stuff. They could be exchanged for many god-tier items in the system all. Sukin hadn't opened the family group yet when he saw a message come in from his best friend's drivers group. This group hadn't had any activity for a long time. Unexpectedly, it suddenly came alive. The group was discussing the issue of boys versus male drivers. When a boy sees a beauty, the first reaction is to look at the face, and then keep looking at the face. What about male drivers? Male drivers, they shift their gaze down from the face and start focusing on the figure. They always look at women from the bottom up. Brother Jiang, which kind are you now? A male driver? I am a theoretical veteran driver. It's only theory, staying at home. Where are the young ladies with domineering figures? Yeah, summer vacation is so boring. Any good novels to share? I have downloaded The Queen Mother's Private Diary, Tang Sanzang's History of Affairs, the story 7 Men and 1 Woman Had to Tell, 8 Immortals. Do you want them? I want the 8 Immortal story. I want Tang Sanzang's History of Affairs. I want The Queen Mother's Private Diary. I've read all those. Who has new resources? Su can. I do. Holy crap. Our dark horse, the Kyoto talent, actually appeared. Thought you wouldn't pay attention to us people anymore. How could that be? Isn't Kyoto University just an ordinary university? TCH, you're being so Versailles. Really no, the world ranking is so far back. That's ranked by foreigners. They definitely rank theirs first. Our favored son of heaven. What resource are you going to recommend to us? Tomato Novel Network, Sanjiu's I Slay Goddesses in the Mental Hospital. It's insanely good. Sukin thought, accidentally pulled the school beauty into the family group, and she latched onto me. Changing gods to goddesses. Only in this way could he attract these theoretical veteran drivers. Sure enough, it's a resource I haven't heard of. Sounds like the GOAT. I'm off. Although the editor looked very favorably upon his book, Sukin was after all still a newcomer. He felt that having people read his book was the greater motivation. Privately, he didn't join author groups, didn't read book comments, and didn't go to Longkong, Tieba, Dubon, Jihu, or the like. He just wrote blindly, completely unaware that many novel enthusiasts were already engaged in intense discussions about his book. This newcomer, Sanjiu, showed signs of becoming this year's king of newcomers in the web novel world. Although his book had just been signed and was only 50,000 words in, it already had the posture of achieving godhood and the momentum of the widespread dark horse of a year. Having promoted his book, Sukin arrived at the library and glanced at the family group again. After just a few short exchanges, Sukin felt that Lin Luoran, that school beauty goddess, was no longer as pure and simple as in the high school era. She had become like a temptress. She certainly wouldn't let this end. He almost got a photo of her airport. No, her cleavage. It felt like it really was just a near miss. She withdrew it while sending, giving him no chance to use his hand speed to save it. Next, Sukin ground for experience points in the library. Grinding and grinding, he got absorbed. He transformed into a walking photocopier. His eyes scanned, and his brain imprinted the contents of the books he read. Agreed to cooperate, yet he thought about kicking me out of the group and almost scammed a photo of my cleavage. Lin Luoran looked at herself in the mirror and smoothed her beautiful hair. She suddenly felt very aggrieved. Someone as beautiful as she was, in what way did she not compare to that Zhuang Meina? From childhood to adulthood, she was spoiled by boys. Which boy wasn't a simp for her? She was the proud daughter of heaven. But that Su Can, he was too detestable. He actually yelled at her and threatened her. How could he treat her like this? It made her so angry. So many people pursued her, and now that she gave him a chance to make the fake act real, he didn't even know how to grasp it. Damn idiot Su Can. No, I can't let him threaten me like this. Besides, we clearly agreed to work together. So why is he threatening me? I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was grab a red packet in the group. If he's so concerned about the red packets his family sent. I heard he once bought a 10,000-plus iPhone for Zhuang Meina when he was her lickspittle in high school. How come he's so petty with me now? It feels like I've lost to Zhuang Meina. The more Lin Luoran thought about it, the angrier she got, and she sent several crying face emojis into the loving family group chat. So many aggrieved little expressions. What's wrong? Dong Mei Jiao quickly asked in the group. Oh my dear future daughter-in-law, what's wrong? Lin Luoran. Annie can bullied me, followed by 3 crying emojis. Dad, what? I'm going to break that brat's legs. Grandma, my good granddaughter-in-law, tell Grandma. Grandma will stand up for you. How did little can bully you? Grandma can let me on and then abandon me. He wants to kick me out of our family group. Boo-hoo. Mom, what? He wants you to leave the group? I'm the group owner. Xiaolin, he wants to kick you out of the group, right? Then I'll kick him out first. Soon after, Dong Meijiao quickly took action. Her son was kicked out of loving family by his group owner mother. Sukin was grinding for experience points, occasionally slacking off. Suddenly, while slacking off, he saw a message that he had been kicked out of the family group. You have been removed from the loving family group chat by Mom. Damn it, Mom, what are you doing? How can you sacrifice family for justice and kick me out of the family group? Over there, after Dong Meijiao kicked out her son, who she probably felt was given away for free with a phone top-up, she was surprised at how nice the Annie was, directly kicking Sukin out without a second thought. She was deeply moved. She thought that if she truly couldn't become Sukin's girlfriend, she could just recognize Annie as her godmother and become her goddaughter, which wouldn't be bad either. Annie, Kin was just saying he'd kick me out. Why did you actually kick him out? We're fine. It's just a little lover's spat. This Xiaolin was bullied by her son, yet she still spoke up for him. The Annie thought this daughter, Lin Luoran, was truly wonderful. What a sensible and beautiful girl. Such a wonderful daughter-in-law. Absolutely couldn't be missed. Xiaoran, Annie will stand up for you. Whatever happens between you and my son, Annie will definitely side with you. People say a son-in-law is half a son, but to me, a daughter-in-law is a daughter even dearer than my own son. Auntie is the goat. Lin Luoran felt she truly liked Can's mom, feeling she treated her even better than her own mother. What happened in the group? Sukin tried to communicate with his mom, but Mom only sent him a big knife emoji. He sent another message. Mom replied with even more pictures of big knives dripping with blood. And they were super big knives with special effects. It was terrifying beyond words. The last time he saw a scene with a big knife was in some terrifying image of a powerful Zone master. His mom, really, he hasn't even brought a partner home yet, and her elbow is already bending outwards, favoring an outsider. Is a mom afraid he'll get so annoyed he won't get married? Then she wouldn't have any grandchildren to hug. Sukin sent private messages to his cousins. Cousin Lingling happened to be online. Sis, you there? Brother Can, what's wrong? I was kicked out of the family group by my mom. Bro, what outrageous thing did you do to be kicked out of the group? I was going to ask you what happened in the family group. Let me see. I was busy dating this afternoon, so I didn't check the group. Huh, you're having an early relationship. Bro, I'm 18 now. Can that still be called an early relationship? Any relationship before university is an early relationship. But bro, check out this love letter my partner wrote to me. How is it? I'll copy and paste it for you to see. My heart follows you, never in the classroom. Every number on the blackboard turns into your eyes, angry, anxious, all emotions tied to you, unwilling to lose our shared time. 10 minutes of love during break, though a bit short. Your smile fills all regrets. For these 10 minutes of affection, I will wholly belong to you. How I wish we could never part. Huh, she's feeding me dog food. Not that great. I used to copy stuff like that for others too. Quickly screenshot the family group for me, or I'll tell your dad you're in an early relationship and have him go to school and break his legs. You're in your final year of high school. This is a critical time. Bro, don't. I'll screenshot it right away, just a second. His cousin sent over several screenshots. So it turned out Lin Luoran had gone to complain to his mom. How old is she? Doesn't she know only children go complaining to adults? She actually went to his mom to complain. No wonder Mom was so furious when she kicked me out of the group. After a while, ding, a new message arrived. Lin Luoran. Classmate Su Can, you still want to kick me out? Look who kicked who now. Stop thinking about making me leave the group. It's not certain who will be leaving. Your mom listens to me now. Lin Luoran didn't send text this time, but a voice message. She was afraid I'd screenshot it and send it to my mom. This Lin Luoran is truly cunning. At this moment, Sukin was mostly gritting his teeth. Fine, you win. Then apologize to me, and I'll have Annie pull you back into the group. Apologize? Lady, I was the one kicked out of the group. The one who should apologize is you. But now Sukin just conceded. Seeing those screenshots, his parents couldn't withstand this daughter-in-law's sweet words and feigned frailty. Her acting was too good. Why didn't she apply to the Beijing Film Academy instead of Tsinghua or Peking University? Su Kan, I shouldn't have threatened to make you leave the group. I'm sorry. Lin Luoran sent a smirking emoji. He could basically see how smug she was on the other side of the screen. That's a good boy. Sure enough, Mom pulled him back into the group a moment later. Pulled back into the we're a loving family group. Eldest uncle. Kan, young people shouldn't be impulsive. It's normal for little couples to bicker, but don't just kick people out or delete friends at the drop of a hat. Treating little Lin like this is wrong. Nanny? Eldest uncle. I'm the victim here. I was the one kicked out of the group. This Lin Luoran had destroyed his standing in the family. His mother, Empress Dowager Dong, had been bewitched by her in such a short time that she kicked her own biological son. Now, led by his mom, the whole family was condemning him in the group. This made Sukin afraid to even show his face, let alone explain. With Lin Luoran in their family group, she was simply a ticking time bomb to him. He was determined to make her leave the family group. As for whatever cooperation he had with her, he regretted it. Ding! A message came from the best friends group. In just a moment, there were hundreds of messages. I slay goddesses in a mental hospital. No, wait, it's slay gods. Although it's not the kind of slaying goddesses I wanted, but within the borders of Huaxia, gods are forbidden is truly goat. It's so good, just damn too short. Yes, I feel the same way. I binge read it 3 times today. It's amazing. It got me so pumped and blood-boiling. Night Watchman Zhao Kongqing. If dark night eventually falls, I shall stand before the tens of thousands, blade held horizontally toward the abyss, staining the firmament with blood. So imposing. Amazing. Sukin, the book you recommended is really good. No need to thank me. That book was written by a friend of mine. He'll be happy that you guys like it. Ah, your friend wrote it? I want to demand updates. Violently demand updates. Tell him if he doesn't update more, I'm going to knife him. Wang Chaoyong. Demand updates +1. Knife him +1 inch Li Saigao. Demand updates +2. Knife him +2 inch Lin Xie. Demand updates +3. Knife him +3 inch. Frustrated in the family group, but seeing his book recognized by his buddies in the best friends group, Sukin felt a bit happier. Another day passed slacking off and grinding EXP. It was night now. Regarding the humiliation of being kicked from the group, for a gentleman, taking revenge in 10 days isn't too late. Right now, Sukin had something 100 times more important. Sukin had a right tonight. He opened the website's author backend. There was a message about a successful contract signing. Then Sukin saw, holy crap, he was stunned for a moment. So many. There were 999 reader comments. Groom of the elder sister. I'm blowing this book up. Demon 110 from another world. This book is so lit. The details are on point, truly stunning. Little White is very black. This book is only a dozen chapters in, but it feels like the author has already entered the god tier stage. Within the borders of Huaxia, gods are forbidden. What a hot-blooded line. The current soldiers of the people are the gods of Huaxia, protecting us. If the author hadn't stayed in a mental hospital, he definitely couldn't have written such a good article. I guarantee it. Good read. Excellent. Damn touching. Really love slaying gods. I love Sanju. Heartfelt Dogehead. The god tier plot was indeed terrifyingly powerful, getting so many positive reviews with just 50,000 words. As someone who started reading web novels like Soul Land in the 6th grade, Sukin naturally knew what this meant. He was going to get famous. And this was a sign of becoming a massive hit. It really wasn't in vain that he had stayed up late these past few days, working his liver to the point of explosion, pouring his heart and kidneys into it. He was extremely dedicated. Hard work pays off. Besides receiving many positive reviews, Sukin also saw that because the contract was completed, the tipping function had been enabled. He received likes and meal money from many readers. Some liked for a penny, some sent small gifts worth a dime, some 1 yuan, some 8 or 10 yuan, and he even received 30 God certification gift from readers. He was so excited he could cry. I heard about an old veteran author who had written millions of words, yet had never seen a God-tier certification gift. For instance, there was an old failing web novel author named Yushi Gongming who said that if someone gifted him a God-tier certification, he would call that person daddy. But a bootlicking author calling someone daddy is useless. He still had to help hand out flyers in the morning to earn money for internet fees and food, money just to survive. He would go to the internet cafe to write his book on their computers, frequently getting pestered by the owner to pay up. Sometimes, when he really had no other choice, he would clean the internet cafe's restrooms, disgusting restrooms, just to gain the owner's sympathy. He acted like a grandson, lingering in the cafe simply because that was where the computers were for writing. For Sukan, however, it was the complete opposite. His readers were the ones shouting, "Daddy Sanjiu, please update," while constantly donating God-tier certification gifts. He could pocket 68 yuan from a single God-tier certification. With 30 certifications, he had made nearly 2,000 yuan. It wasn't a huge amount of money. Although it couldn't compare to those 100 million league rewards, he was as excited and thrilled as if he had received one. One had to realize that the author Yushi Gongming was miserable. He hadn't received a single one. Otherwise, he wouldn't be writing on an empty stomach. He currently had 50,000 words. Who's to say he wouldn't actually get a 100 million league reward later on? As long as he remained steady, more and more people would come to like his book. Even without a 100 million league, as long as this book became a hit, the manuscript fees would be enough for him to buy a house in the capital without his mother having to sell everything back home. The family group chat returned to normal thanks to Lin Laurent's reasonableness, and Sukan was pulled back into the group by his mother. Then, his uncle unleashed a storm of red packets in the group. After a fierce battle, the project from 2 days ago has finally been successfully negotiated. I said I'd send 8 big red packets, so here are 8 red packets. A flurry of red packets followed. After everyone in the group tried their luck grabbing the packets, they filled the chat with thanks to the boss, wishing him prosperity. Cousin Lingling was practically flying with joy. She had grabbed 2 super large ones from her uncle's 8 big red packets today, netting a total of over 200 yuan. Meanwhile, Sukan was typing away, clack, 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 in a state of extreme excitement. He saw the money the readers were rewarding him with to put food on the table. There would be manuscript fees after the next 100,000 words. The money for his summer job was now a reality, and the amount might exceed his imagination. The money wasn't the most important thing. What mattered was that he was about to rise in the world of web literature, relying on this book, beginning to fulfill a dream of his. Having read novels since the 6th grade, he had seen plenty and had always harbored a dream of becoming a writer. However, considering his writing style and ability to create stories, he had felt a dream was just a dream, so he never tried. But now, with the system boosting him, having read 10,000 books, his writing ability greatly increased, and supported by the system's conferred God plot inspirations, he was peaking right at his debut. Clack, clack, clack. Midnight. Upstairs, there was a rhythmic clacking. Downstairs, there was also a rhythmic cracking. However, upstairs it was one person and one computer. Sukan was pounding away at a mechanical keyboard. Downstairs, the male and female mosquitoes were communicating too loudly, so a young couple was wielding an electric mosquito swatter. Zap, zap, zap. Many lives fell to the electric current. Where lives depart, lives should also arrive. The dear mosquitoes have all been zapped. Can we sleep now? Hurry up and hit it. What are you doing? Seeing the man touch her, the woman pushed him away. Hurry up and hit the mosquitoes. There's still a few buzzing around. After swatting the mosquitoes, a high-pitched sound rang out. Oh, 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 oh. The rooster, the rooster, the rooster, pointed beak crowing at the sky, calling the bright moon at the 3rd watch, summoning the dawn at the 5th drum. Sukan typed straight through to the 3rd watch, late night. Today he had transformed into a humanoid typing machine, banging out another 20 to 30,000 words in one go. At this speed, he could put the book on sale and start earning manuscript fees in a day or two. In the middle of the night, Sukan updated 8 chapters in one breath. Some readers read it with sheer delight, while others were left hooked and suffering. Reader, Vegetable Otaku, is great God Sanji just updating fiercely? Or does he have a massive stockpile of drafts? Reader, Mount Ni loves your girl. He definitely has a stockpile. Otherwise, how could he update 8 chapters in one go? Reader, your uncle is still your second uncle. I think there's a stockpile too. Reader, the tycoon you can't have. Great God, Sanjay dropped his whole stockpile at once. If you update one more chapter following this, I'll send a God tier certification. Sukin looked at the comments. They appeared so fast. He had just finished updating and checking for typos, and there were already over 100 comments and 1,000 requests for updates. He looked at the comments. He replied to, the tycoon you can't have. Thank you for the support, the tycoon you can't have. I really don't have a stockpile, but I will bust my liver to update every day. I'll do over 20,000 words daily. Great God, Sanjiu is mighty. The web novel world sees the return of a tentacle monster, super fast typist. Reward, 1 God tier, certification. I'm not a great god yet. I'm a newbie. Everyone please add to your library and vote for updates. Thank you for your support. Love you all, moi. After interacting with some readers, Su Kan's eyelids could no longer withstand his cultivation of immortality, staying up late. The next day, early morning. Uncle. Last night, there was still one person who didn't claim any of the big red packets. Who was it? It was Brother Kan. Oh ho, little Kan got roasted by us yesterday. And now, he won't even claim such a massive shower of red packets. Sukin hadn't abstained because of the roasting. He had been urged by so many readers to update that he had typed furiously for half the night in a state of extreme excitement, churning out nearly 30,000 words in one go. Exhausted, he interacted with some commenters for a bit before collapsing onto his desk and falling asleep. He hadn't touched his phone at all. He was still sleeping soundly. By the time he woke up, it was already noon. I actually slept slumped over the desk all night. My dedication to my dream of becoming a writer is enough to move even myself to tears. He ate at a roadside restaurant and went to the library. His sleep schedule felt completely messed up. He stopped slacking off on his phone at the library, spent the afternoon grinding for experience points, and then returned to write. Between yesterday and today, Sukin hadn't said a single word in the group chat. On the other end, Lin Luoran had been monitoring the situation in the loving family group. Was Su Kan's silence a protest? Had she made him angry yesterday? He had only thought about kicking her out of the group, but unexpectedly, Su Kan's mother had kicked her own son out without a word, and in the end, Lin Luoran had even made him apologize to her. Lin Luoran felt she couldn't ruin the atmosphere of this family group, nor did she want Su Kan to harbor thoughts of kicking her out again. They needed to cooperate properly. It shouldn't just be him compromising and apologizing. She should also show some sincerity in their collaboration. So, Lin Luoran prepared to have another chat with Su Kan. Not online, but face-to-face. She knew from the group chat that Su Kan hadn't gone home and was in Bida City, just like she was. They could meet, take a photo together, and let the family group see that she and Su Kan had made up. This would also fit her image as a reasonable, virtuous daughter-in-law. Thus, she prepared to take the initiative and DM Su Kan. She typed out the words but hesitated slightly. After all, it was her first time asking a boy out. But eventually, Lin Luoran sent the message. Su Kan, you're in the capital, and I'm in the capital too. Let's meet up and chat. 1 minute passed. Su Kan didn't reply. 2 minutes. Su Kan didn't reply. 3 minutes later, Su Kan still hadn't replied. She felt that for her first time taking the initiative, the other party actually hadn't reacted for ages. Lin Luoran wanted to retract the message, but it was useless. The time limit for retraction had passed. She could only delete the message on her end, praying for a miracle. That Su Kan hadn't seen it yet. Lin Luoran's prayers, aside from fooling herself, were completely ineffective. Su Kan had already seen the message she sent. She's asking me to meet? As for the unclaimed red packets in the group, he still didn't know about them. His family chatted too much. Right now, he just wanted to farm some experience points during the day. Summer break was more than half over. He needed to complete all his master level upgrades before it ended. He had already missed out on a wonderful freshman year and didn't want to spend his sophomore year stuck in the library too. But the campus beauty had asked him out. If he had been required to ask her, it would have been impossible. However, since she was taking the initiative, Su Kan was willing to squeeze out little time. His best friend's driver group often used a phrase, "University life is good." The first time he heard them chatting in the group, He was very innocent and didn't understand the old driver's slang at all. But the others kept laughing. Sukin asked what the hell they were laughing at. We're laughing at how you don't know where to pause. It's not university life, it's university students. Have good technique. Screw you guys. Meet up. Originally, I didn't have time, but I'll squeeze a little out. We really should talk face to face. I'm at the Bida City Library. There are hotels nearby too. Come find me. She saw it, but what was this reply about asking her to go to a hotel? Lin Luoran. Are you being a pervert? Who's going to a hotel with you? What are you thinking? I meant you should come to the library. It's afternoon now. Later, if it gets too late to go back, you can sleep at a hotel. Fine. I guess I misunderstood you. I already took the initiative to contact you. Why don't you take the initiative to come find me? You have to make me come to you? I think since you're the guy, you should come find me. There are hotels near me too. Yeah, it's you who wants to find me. Why should I go to you? Originally, I felt that meeting you was already a waste of time, and now you want me to go to you? What do you mean? Meeting me is a waste of time. I'm very busy. If you're not coming, forget it. It's not like I want to see you. You asked me out. He was clearly a simp. Yet in front of her, he acted like such a blunt, straight male, stabbing her with his words again and again. Lin Luoran pouted, her mouth twitching before she burst into tears of frustration. The last time she cried was when her grandmother passed away. The more she thought about it, the angrier and less accepting she became. She wiped away a tear. In what way was she inferior to Zhuang Meina? Sure, the other girl was an art student, good at singing and dancing, but actually she was good at singing and dancing too, okay? Suddenly, Lin Luoran smiled again. This Sukin wasn't acting like a simp anymore. He'd learned bad habits in college. This must be Sukin playing hard to get. Yes, that must be it. She had always been surrounded by simps fawning over her. Experiencing what it felt like to be a simp this one time wouldn't hurt. Okay, I'll come find you, Lin Luoran said. All right then. Sukin was no longer a simp. He wouldn't, and didn't need to, simp for anyone ever again. Even if it was the former campus goddess Lin Luoran. He could flirt a little, chat a little, but being a simp again was impossible in this lifetime. He didn't want the tragedy of simping until you have nothing left to happen to him ever again. 2.5 hours later, Lin Luoran arrived at the Bida City Library. I'm at the entrance. Lin Luoran's voice message was as gentle as water. Bida City was very, very big, but 2.5 hours was taking way too long. Was she deliberately trying to stay overnight at a hotel? It was already 4:30. All right, I'll head over to the entrance to pick you up. At the library entrance, Sukin walked over and saw a girl taking off her sunglasses, revealing a beautiful, enchanting face. Some people look better in photos, photo scams, but Lin Luoran was someone who looked even more beautiful in person than in pictures. It felt like the camera actually made her look worse. This was the first time Sukin had seen Lin Luoran in over a year. Even though he had swiped her photos before, seeing her in person, he felt she was even prettier than the pictures. Since starting college, her skin had become paler, smooth as cream, and her meticulous styling gave her a seductive, vixen-like aura. It gave men the feeling that their souls were being hooked away. Student Lin Luoran. Student Sukin. Having not seen him for a year, Sukin had grown even more handsome. He seemed a bit taller, his looks were sharp, and he still looked just as cool as ever. You've changed a lot in college. How did you go from the innocent look to the sexy vixen route? You smell nice too. Lin Luoran complained internally. Didn't I dress this way just based on your preferences? She gave a captivating smile and said, Zhuang Meina looked very pretty dressing like this in high school. I feel pretty good dressing this way too. Why do you keep comparing yourself to her? You two aren't the same type, Sukin said to the bright and moving Lin Luoran. Enough about me. Aren't you working a summer job? Why are you at the library? I'm working at the library. A worker moving books? Sukin was moving the contents of the books into his brain for storage. That was also a form of transport, so calling himself a worker moving books wasn't inaccurate. So Sukin said, Close enough. By the way, did you bring your ID card? What for? I saw it took you 2 or 3 hours to get here, so you must live pretty far away. I'll find you a hotel later. Didn't we agree on that earlier? Do you have other intentions towards me? Lin Luoran acted as if she were about to cover her slightly exposed chest. She thought of the phrase college life is good. Sukin countered. Then do you have any intentions towards me? Otherwise, why did you ask me out? I asked you out to talk about kicking you out of the family group chat. Actually, I didn't expect Annie to kick you out instantly. I thought since we chose to cooperate, we should act like partners. Sulking isn't the way to go, and you haven't spoken in the group for a day and a night. Did she really want to cooperate with him? Or did she just want to stay in his family group chat to snatch red envelopes? Sukun had serious doubts. However, ever since the two started cooperating, his mom had really given him some peace and quiet. She no longer urged him to return to Jiang'an City, no longer pushed him to find a girlfriend, and stopped all the nagging. It didn't feel like a big deal that she claimed some red envelopes, although the ones from his grandparents on both sides stung a little. Everything else was fine. Since you're so sincere, let's sit down and chat. There's a coffee lounge on the first floor of the library. Shall we go sit there and have a cup of coffee? Okay. At the coffee shop, Sukin smiled radiantly. This was because the first thing Lin Luoran did after sitting down was to transfer all the money she had snatched from red envelopes in Sukan's "We Are a Family" group chat back to him in one go. This was her greatest show of sincerity for their meeting. I'm actually not that stingy. It really isn't about the red envelopes. While Sukan's mouth kept moving, he immediately accepted the transfer Lin Luoran sent. Good Lord, that's quite a lot. He hadn't expected that in just a few short days, Lin Luoran had snatched 3,390 yuan in red envelopes from his family group. How many big and small packets must she have grabbed? Seeing the transfer accepted, Lin Luoran spoke. I had a really great time chatting your family group. Yeah, I know. I just didn't expect our campus beauty to enjoy spamming the chats so much. It's just that you didn't realize it before. But Auntie isn't nagging you about finding a partner anymore, is she? Sukin said, looking at Lin Luoran, unsure if he was happy or unhappy. She even kicked me out of the group chat, so of course she won't nag me anymore. She doesn't even bother with me. My mom got a daughter-in-law and forgot her son. After 6 o'clock, the library and its cafe were about to close. Lin Luoran and Sukin stepped out. It's dinner time. Let's chat while we eat. Sounds good to me. The two finished ordering at a restaurant that required payment up front. I'll pay, Lin Luoran said. Sukin wasn't a simp anymore, so since Lin Luoran wanted to pay, he let her. However, some guys nearby glared at Sukin with disdain. Simps, after all, couldn't possibly understand. Eating with such a beautiful girl, and you actually let her pay. Are you even a man? Ignoring the simp's gazes, Sukin found a seat and sat down while Lin Luoran was paying. After Lin Luoran finished paying, she sat down across from Sukan. Her beautiful hair, long and straight like spilled ink, fell forward over her chest. Is she trying to hide her airport? Of course, Sukan didn't say it aloud. He didn't want to stir up trouble for no reason. Let's take a selfie of us eating together and send it to your family's loving family group chat so Auntie and Uncle can see that we're back together and reconciled. Whatever. Lin Luoran and Sukin leaned in over the table, their heads just millimeters from touching. You have long arms. You take it. Sukin took Lin Luoran's phone. Then Lin Luoran made a heart shape with her right hand. The photo was taken. The pose was spot on. Lin Luoran was very satisfied and sent the photo to Sukan's family's loving family group chat. After sending the photo, Lin Luoran put down her phone. Since I've solved your problem, you also need to solve mine. Let's continue cooperating. Look, I'm not doing this for the red packets in your family group. Don't even think about kicking me out of your family group again. Let's uphold the spirit of our agreement and be qualified allies. Of course, no problem, Sukin said with a smile. Do you want to add me to your family group? I can help you deal with them too, Lin Luoran replied. My family is a bit special. My family here doesn't really need dealing with. You mainly just need to help me deal with outsiders. He had been rejected with the excuse of a special family. Special family, my foot, rejected is rejected. He wouldn't grovel like a simp to get into her family group. After Lin Luoran sent the photo to Sukan's family's loving family group chat, the family chat erupted. Sukin's phone was on silent, but Lin Luoran's phone kept beeping incessantly. A perfect match of talent and beauty, made for each other, sweet and loving, an immortal couple, a perfect pair, forever united in heart. Lin Luoran and Sukin thanked their family together in the group for their enthusiasm. They're together now. Young couples always have their little quarrels. Now they've made up. The family group was so lively. At the entrance of Orange Boutique Hotel. Sukan, let's take another one. The lighting at the hotel entrance was good. The large characters for Orange Boutique Hotel were behind the two of them. When the photo was sent, the family group chat once again resembled bullet comments in a live stream. So lively it was like Chinese New Year, flying together wing to wing. A joyful union. King, don't let the girl down in the future. Empress Dowager Dong started sending out big red packets again. In her opinion, her son and Xiao Rant's business tonight must be successful. They were already at that place, unless her son's kidneys weren't up to it. Haha, I feel like Sukan has really grown up. Remember when he was so little? Let me show everyone what he looked like as a child. Mom, 100-day crotch photo. Eldest uncle-in-law. Young people nowadays are really much more open than we were back then. Third uncle-in-law. Now I understand why university students live in dorms, but hotels outside campus are popping up one after another. The largest group of young couples must be university students. Boyfriends go to girlfriends, girlfriends go to boyfriends. Uncle, now that you mention it, I have some money on hand recently, but not enough to buy a house. I feel like I could open a hotel business near Jiangnan University. Opening the family chat group. Sukin's family was still gossiping about him. As Sukin was on his way back from the hotel, scrolling through the chat history, he cracked on the spot after reading for a bit. It was one thing for them to misunderstand that he and Lin Luoran were staying at a hotel, but why send a photo of him in open crotch pants from when he was 100 days old? Although he wasn't the little brother he used to be, it was too embarrassing. After all, the elders had watched him grow up, and he didn't even treat his female cousins like women in front of him. But now Lin Luoran was in the group chat. He hadn't managed to get a cleavage shot of her. Would she now save his 100-day-old baby photo, the one showing his crotch in split pants, to admire every day or even threaten him with it, forcing him to act like a simp for her? No way. He had to strive to get a shot of her cleavage next time. That way, he wouldn't be held completely under her thumb. After returning to his residential complex, Su can temporarily put the matter of the baby photo aside. His mom had sent it long past the time limit for retracting the message. His chest full of grief and indignation could only be channeled into becoming a human typing machine. Furthermore, as a qualified web novelist, missing an update was absolutely forbidden, especially since Su can only needed to update a few more chapters tonight to meet the conditions for going premium and start to earn royalties. Generally, unless a book was a late bloomer that exploded in popularity as the word count increased, this was the moment when a book's standard became apparent. Whether it had the makings of a hit could be glimpsed from the first day's earnings. Sukin didn't know his book had already been internally designated as a hit by the editors and would be pushed with massive resources on the first day. After all, even before going premium, the daily income from small gifts had broken records, rising from 2,000 yuan in value to breaking 10,000 yuan yesterday. When he woke up in the morning, Sukin didn't come. Back in high school, when Sukin was pursuing Zhuang Meina, he used to buy everything ready for her in the mornings. Sukan, I won't lose to Zhuang Meina. Leaving the Orange Boutique Hotel, a sprinkler truck passed by. Beautiful light refracted behind it. Lin Luoran took a photo. She posted it to her moments with the caption, "Chasing the little rainbow, refracted by the sprinkler truck. I heard that seeing a rainbow brings good luck. My good luck is you." After Lin Luoran posted, many simps immediately commented, "School beauty Lin, you're so right. Your good luck is me. I love your face. I love your talent. Goddess, you are truly too perfect in my eyes. If I could marry you, I'd be willing to be a pig in my next life." Sukan's mom also commented, "Seeing you two getting along so well puts my mind at ease. My son is truly lucky to have met an angel like you." Sukan couldn't see the comment from the other simps on Lin Luoran's moments, but he could see his mom's comment. He felt like his mom was being such a simp. He really wanted to private message his mom to tell her to stop simping, but he decided against it. However, he felt Lin Luoran's post was baffling. "My good luck is you." What was that hinting at? He directly commented with an ellipsis underneath to express his speechlessness. Seeing her son had commented, Dong Meijiao replied to Sukan's comment. "Son, is this a case of everything is understood without saying a word, right?" Looking at his mom's quick and fawning reply, Sukan shoved his phone directly into his pocket. He would continue grinding for experience points today. He wanted to max out his experience early during the summer vacation so he could start shocking Jingdu University staying silent for a year, then amazing the world with a single feat. That kind of incident where he failed a confession and wailed while hugging Zhuang Meina's leg would never happen again. There would only be countless girls coming to simp for him. When the high school class reunion happened again, he was going to tell Zhuang Meina that confessing to her had been embarrassing and that he must have had something wrong with him in high school to have fallen for her. He had to say it with absolute nonchalance. His self-esteem had really taken a beating from Zhuang Meina back then. Although he hadn't left a suicide note, he had gone for a swim in the lake in the dead of winter. That was truly thrilling. While Sukin was grinding for experience points in the library, Lin Luoran ignored the comments from dozens of simps and only replied to the comments from Sukan and Sukan's mom. Actions speak louder than words. Please take care of me for the rest of my life. After this comment, the driver's best friend group chat blew up. Since these old classmates also had Lin Luoran on social media, her interaction with Su Kan was visible to them. Li Sai Gao, Master Kan, the school beauty, commented, "Please take care of me for the rest of my life. Are you guys together?" Lin Chia, badass. Wang Chaoyong, you really conquered the school beauty goddess from our old class. Huh? Didn't the school beauty Lin Luoran say she wouldn't date even in university? Apart from this close-knit group of friends, the long-silent high school class group also bustled with activity. Everyone was eagerly consuming the gossip about Su Kan and Lin Luoran. Zhuang Meina also saw the exchange between Su Kan, who used to be her simp, and Lin Luoran. Regarding Su Kan, this dark horse of the college entrance exam, Zhuang Meina had initially felt a bit of regret. She hadn't expected Su Kan to amaze everyone during the exams. She had even thought that if Su Kan pursued her again, she would consider agreeing. But after attending the Beijing Film Academy for a year, Su Kan hadn't sought her out again. After starting university, some of her perspectives had also changed simultaneously. Whether it was Jingdu University or Qingbei University, they were just slightly better universities. There weren't many students there who could graduate and earn $1 million a month. But for them at the Film Academy, as long as they became big stars, a single endorsement deal would start at several million or even tens of millions. So, she felt that Su Kan wasn't that big of a deal anymore. However, this time, Su Kan and Lin Luoran's interaction drew gossip from their old classmates, which still made her a little sad. She felt that Su Kan had changed his heart in just 1 year. Back then, he liked her so much he'd jump into a lake for her, crying while holding on her leg. Now, her simp had gone off with a school beauty queen who was even better than her. It made her subtly wonder if her old classmates were thinking she had bad taste and had missed out on a treasure boy. Feeling emotional, Zhuang Meina also posted an update on her WeChat moments. "I don't understand why you like me so much," and then suddenly didn't, throwing yourself into another's arms. Zhuang Meina's post was accompanied by a picture. The picture, of course, was of herself, one that made people directly overlook her face, their eyes drawn only to her ample cleavage. It was so provocatively sexy, it was almost blinding. She really dared to post that. Many boys drooled over it. Only eunuchs wouldn't want a piece of Zhuang Meina. A flood of comments began. "So beautiful. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. God Aku. Even Lu Yin can't compare to you. You are my goddess. Fi bro. Meina, didn't you say you wanted to go to the Maldives? I'll take you there. Anything you wish for. I'll even pluck the moon from the sky for you." Zhuang Meina's figure attracted not only boys, but also female simps. "My goddess Na, I've always liked you. How could I suddenly not like you anymore? You're overthinking things. Walla walla. I'm just envious of your proud assets. I don't like men anymore. I like you." Zhuang Meina's post gathered numerous simp-like comments, but this time, she was only hoping Su Kan would comment. Yet, Su Kan didn't even leave an ellipsis. He wondered if he was overthinking things, if her post was directed at him. Su Kan was speechless. He'd changed his heart a year after confessing his feelings. What did she have to be sad about? However, compared to the text, Su Kan was more interested in the photo. He looked at Zhuang Meina's cleavage photo. This was something Lin Luoran would never reveal, but Zhuang Meina wore it as casually as eating and drinking. It seemed her nutrition had become even richer after college. But wasn't it too exaggerated? They were already big. Had she gotten fillers? He didn't know if they were natural or not. In any case, he was too speechless to even type an ellipsis, but his eyes honestly appreciated every bit of it. Just appreciation, because he would no longer simp for Zhuang Mena. He put down his phone, went to the library to grind experience points all afternoon, and then came back in the evening to write. Su Kan's routine, going between 2 points, was very fulfilling. Not only would he no longer be a simp, he also didn't have the time to be one. A simp's time was worthless in the eyes of the other person, but now, Su Kan's time was very valuable, especially since he had big things to do tomorrow. His debut was approaching. His book was going to be shelved, published for pay. Every word he wrote meant money. He was greatly looking forward to tomorrow, wondering if he could become a legend in the online fiction world with one fell swoop, ushering in an era of bestsellers. He didn't know, because after the God-conferring plot, everything was his own writing, without the system's blessing for more such plots. An online novel could have a stunning segment, but it also needed sufficient length and time to prove itself, and his word count was still too low. In truth, he felt both anticipation and fear for this book, just like during his Gaokao, college entrance exam. Years ago, the system's creations, especially the God-conferring plots, were divine. But if he failed to complete a task, even with the system's blessing, then the system would default him as trash. The fate of trash was for the system to erase him and choose a new host entirely. So, before each task succeeded, he still felt fear. Perhaps that moment wouldn't be the peak of his life, but the arrival of death itself. This was a thrilling system that allowed only success, no failure. During his Gaokao year, he had nearly died, lying in bed like a corpse for over a month. His parents even resorted to old village methods to call back his soul. However, after successfully passing the Gaokao, his entire life's goals and plans underwent a dramatic change. Before, he was just a tail-ender at Akeem Middle School. If it weren't for his granduncle arranging for him to attend, he wouldn't even have had the chance to go to that high school. But it was also because of his granduncle that he remained a tail-ender for 3 years, looked down upon by many high achievers. That time during the Gaokao, he vowed that with the help of the system, he would steadily, step by step, climb to the very peak of the world to achieve the highest possible. Great Master Sanjiu, are you there? Are you there? Great Master Talong, I'm here, what's wrong? Your book has been massacred with bad reviews, and many forums are slandering it. I hope you don't let it affect your mood. Just write well. If the quality of your writing is good, the results will be good. Don't pay attention to those haters. His book was going live tomorrow, and many trolls from Long Kong and other online fiction forums had come to cause trouble in the middle of the night, maliciously bad-mouthing his reviews. When his editor, Talong, told him, Su Kan was surprisingly calm, simply posting a single chapter with the title "The World Slanders Me." They insult me, humiliate me, mock me, belittle me. Ignore them. Watch me achieve success after a massive update tomorrow. Everyone just wait and see. After this bold declaration, he then furiously typed away at his keyboard in his room. This time, he had even prepared some drafts to publish tomorrow. The next day, Su Kan naturally didn't go to the library to grind experience points. Su Kan was fighting for his online novel, typing the most words to achieve the best results. Meanwhile, many old high school classmates had been watching the drama unfold, eating melons since last night, and many were still bombarding him with private messages. Su Kan, did you see? Zhuang Mena posted another moment on WeChat. The right people meeting at the wrong time. Now it's the right time, but we can't be together. When you like me, I didn't like you. Now that I like you, you don't like me anymore? I only use my smile to hide my sorrow, because we've become familiar strangers. Old Can, Zhuang Mena wants to rekindle your feelings, just agree. Give School Beauty Lin to us. Back then, you were so devoted and simping for Zhuang Mena. You wouldn't change your mind so easily, right? Holy crap. You want to get your hands on School Beauty Lin too? I'll beat you to death. Old Chow, don't be aggressive. You were the discipline monitor in high school. I don't acknowledge that now. Even Lin Luoran sent Su Kan a private message, because this time, Zhuang Mena had included an even more provocative chest photo. It was practically bursting out. Su Kan, you're working with me now. You can't look at Zhuang Mena's chest photos. If you really want to see, I could show you mine. Su Kan had always yearned for Lin Luoran's cleavage photos. But today, he had no time to go online. He had disconnected his phone from the internet, so he didn't even see them, and naturally couldn't reply. He needed to go all out, furiously typing away. Today, he was going all out to update and rush for his first day's royalties. Occasionally, his stomach would rumble. To succeed today, he bought 5 cans of Red Bull and 5 other energy drinks. Click, clack, click. Sukin would finish a chapter, quickly check it, and immediately upload. Seeing Sukin didn't reply, Lin Luoran even went to the city library to look for him, but there was no sign of Sukin at all. He hasn't replied to her messages since last night. Did he go directly to meet Zhuang Meina, who had a change of heart? Is he such a simp for her? Are all men scumbags? Do they all like big chests? They should just go for cows then. Why bother with women? Lin Luoran felt furious about Zhuang Meina's cleavage photo. It wasn't that Zhuang Meina hadn't posted such revealing photos before. Back then, Lin Luoran usually didn't care, but today, after seeing the class group chat and some comments, she was particularly bothered. Because her interactions with Su can have become drama for others to watch, and Zhuang Meina clearly seemed to be subtly declaring war on her. The school beauty's eyes were unusually red with anxiety. On Su Kan's side, in the book review section and various forums, multiple parties were also red-eyed, angered/competitive, towards him. Meanwhile, Su Kan, the person involved, was in the calm eye of the storm, proceeding at his own pace, business as usual. Last night, Su Kan had dedicated a chapter to declare war on those slandering his book. Someone had then posted this on Longkong Forum and various self-media channels, using text, pictures, live-action videos, etc., proclaiming, "The world slanders me, insults me, humiliates me, mocks me, belittles me. Ignore them." This quickly attracted the attention of many drama watchers. I haven't read this book, but I feel like what this author said is so classic. Which book is this? By which author? On which website? I'm going to check it out. The book mentioned above is God Slayer, not Goddess Slayer, sorry, by Sanjiu on the Zhangxi website. It's incredibly good, highly recommended. In the comment section of God Slayer on the Zhangxi website, readers who were focused on the story were confused by the dedicated chapter posted by author Sanjiu. But when they saw the comments section being flooded and spammed by haters and trolls last night, they understood what was happening and became enraged. Author Sanjiu is magnanimous and said to just ignore them, but God Slayer fans didn't want their book to be slandered like that. Now, a mutual bickering mode has been activated. This book is unreadable. This book lacks quality. I advise against reading this book. It's Chinibu and childish. This book is absolute trash. I can't even read it. God Slayer? More like Slayer of Farts. It took many negative reviews for one supportive reader to finally speak up. Screw you. If you don't like it, then get lost. User above, you've posted 10 negative reviews. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Such a good book, such a great author, and you're slandering him? You must have taken the wrong medicine. I think you really belong in a mental hospital. Sukin felt that since entering the online novel industry, he hadn't offended anyone. How could there be so many haters in such a short time? Was it a case of more popular, more problems? He didn't know, but his website editor had called him, telling him to keep up the good work on updates and that he would handle everything else. As the clack, clack, clack of typing hit the 100,000-word mark, Sukin uploaded all the chapters he had stockpiled yesterday in one go. He instantly felt a massive surge of traffic flooding in. The book had already gathered quite a few readers after reaching 50,000 words. Sukan's god-tier plotlines had even moved the editor-in-chief of Tomato Novels. For the first time in its history, the site exercised special privileges for a newcomer, directly assigning a technical team to delete malicious negative reviews for him. As the technical department continued to delete the bad reviews, a steady stream of positive reviews began to flood the comment section. "I'm so handsome. I love this too much. Kid, watch this slash closely." Why? Because this slash is going to be very cool. This fits the vibe of a handsome guy like me perfectly. Don't bother, old baby. This book takes a mental hospital as its theme. Although the word count is low right now, it encompasses excellent traditional Chinese culture and Western culture, achieving harmony in diversity and inclusiveness. It is truly a good book. Reading it is beneficial. Its beauty lies not only in increasing one's talent, making one overflow with brilliance, but also in subtly nurturing one's appearance, making the reader radiant and skyrocketing their looks. It's not easy for Sanjiu to write such a masterpiece. Look, another handsome guy with god-tier looks, me, is about to be born. The Silent Sea. I came from Long Kong. At first, I just kept reading because the genre suited me, but by 50,000 words, I realized I had completely fallen in love with this book. The brain hole and plot between 30 and 50,000 words truly shocked me. Reading this book now, at over 100,000 words, feels like unwrapping a gift. It gets more and more exquisite. It's absolutely YYDES the GOAT, except every chapter is so short and powerless. It's not enough to read. Sanjiu, Big Boss, you need to mass release 100 chapters. User 7991. I came here recommended by Douyin blogger. I don't know how to describe this book. It's not you returning to laity, but it completely hits my preferences. This book makes me excited and thrilled, immersing me deeply. The last time I felt this way was when I first read web novels back in the day. The original novel that was later adapted into that cringeworthy TV show Battle Through the Heavens. In the back end, positive reviews were refreshing and increasing by triple digits every minute. The technical staff felt this was unprecedented. The speed at which readers were spamming comments for this novel was simply too fast. Soon, the accumulated positive reviews broke 30,000 in a short time. Was there a bot army spamming positive reviews too? Technician. Chief, should we delete them? Is this the other side trying to praise-kill the book? Editor-in-Chief. Do you trust the quality of this book? Talong. I believe in the strength of this book. Then no need to delete. Quality that is hard enough won't be killed off by spammers. While the staff at Tomato Novels handled the logistics for Su Kan was undoubtedly fighting hard on his end. To make a new book with such a low word count a hit in a short time, he needed more updates to retain readers. So, Su Kan went clack, clack, clack all night, breaking his own record in one breath. Including last night's stockpile, he uploaded over 50,000 words today, a total of 25 chapters. He had absolutely transformed into a super tentacle monster of the web novel world. Under this fierce update schedule, the book became a hit that very day. Readers sent small gifts nonstop. When Su Kan woke up at 3 in the afternoon the next day, his new book had smashed its way to #1 on the Tomato Novels daily sales chart. It was a phone call from his editor that woke Su Kan up. Yesterday's mass release had overdrawn his body a bit. If only he could get something good from the system to make his body strong as an ox, fierce as a tiger, and essentially indistinguishable from King Kong. Sanjiu, you've exploded. Exploded? Exploded what? Although I like sleeping naked, I really wore underwear last night. Check your earnings. There's definitely a huge surprise. Really? Don't lie to me, Big Boss Talong. He turned on his computer, logged into the author backend, and checked yesterday's revenue. Looking at the earnings from his first day on sale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 figures. The daily earnings reached an unbelievable figure, 500,000 yuan. Su Kan fell numb. It was his first time seeing so much money. After all, his mom only gave him 50,000 for living expenses per semester at most, and now, suddenly 500,000. Editor Talong had been in the industry for 10 years, and had never seen a newcomer's new book be this fierce. Authors on other sites might break 100,000 initial subscriptions. 1 million subscriptions across 10 chapters at 20 cents each would only yield 200,000 in daily fees. Tomato Novels was different. It paid authors based on ad revenue sharing, where the unit price is lower. Yet there was this record-breaking 500,000. This year's web novel Rookie King absolutely belonged to Sanjiu. After seeing the revenue data, Su Kan knew his book was truly a hit. Who should he tell this good news to first? His family, naturally, but this told them that he had 500,000. Would his parents stop giving him living expenses in the future? He had 500,000 now. Did he really care about the 10,000 yuan a month tuition fee from his parents? However, the school beauty was also in the group chat. If she found out, how would she react? Would she cling to him? Would she simp for him? If that happened, he felt he would actually be a little sad, because he felt she should be attracted to his handsome looks, not his external money. As Su Kan thought about this, he connected his phone, which had been offline since yesterday, to the internet. Immediately, a barrage of beeping notifications smashed through. This time, it wasn't just the family group, The high school alumni group and his hardcore driver buddies group were all acting like they were possessed. None of them had fewer than 999 plus unread messages. There were also many people demanding him. He didn't even know which one to click first. Seeing Lynn Laurent's private messages, there weren't many, so he could finish them quickly. He decided to click on the school beauties first. What greeted his eyes was an incredibly aggressive photo. What a chest! It was a photo of a semi-exposed cleavage. Exquisite. Perfect. Seductive. It was absolutely enough to make any man's blood pump, including him, Soo-kan. He instantly felt a rush to the tip of his nose, as if a nosebleed were about to burst out. He hurriedly looked up, subconsciously raising his phone high as well, and continued to admire it. Looking up from the chest, there was a swan-like white neck. Further up, however, was a slight flaw in the photo. The beautiful school beauty Lynn Laurent had actually covered most of her face. He could confirm it was undoubtedly her, because on the small exposed part of her face, near the eyebrow, was a tiny mole, and the clothes were definitely Lynn Laurent's. Today was a surprise, but mostly a puzzle. Why did this grand suddenly send him a photo of her cleavage? To prove to him that she wasn't an airport, that she had some scale not to be ignored? Then why didn't she send it before? Why suddenly now? It left him a bit bewildered. He felt that today he was not only lucky with wealth, but also with women. Had he just woken up, or was he still dreaming? Slapping himself to see if it hurt to confirm if he was dreaming. Soo-kan wouldn't do such a masochistic thing. He had his own way of solving this. He went in the bathroom, pulled out his Italian cannon, and opened fire. The neighborhood he currently lived in was close to the airport. Just as Soo-kan entered the bathroom, a plane happened to fly over. Boom, boom, boom. The plane flew past. Soo-kan was verifying things on his end too. There was texture in his hand, a smell in the air, and sound. This wasn't a dream. Because the cerebral cortex has few connections to texture, smell, and taste, dreams mostly lack these sensations. After waking up, resolving his physiological problem in the bathroom made him feel much more comfortable. Really, when one can just take a leak to verify reality, why do those reborn protagonists always like to slap themselves? They must all be masochists. Soo-kan was comfortable on his end, but over at Lynn Laurent's side, she was currently filled with regret. Her face had been burning hot for a day and a night. How had she lost her head and sent such a private, personal photo to Soo-kan? Moreover, the other party hadn't replied to her for a whole day and night. Besides the shyness, she felt the humiliation of an invisible slap in the face. After all, Soo-kan hadn't replied. Was he really not interested in her? But when she saw that Soo-kan hadn't replied to Zhuang Meina's chest photo either, her mood balanced out a little. Just as she was in a state of trepidation, Soo-kan sent a message. My eyes were bad before. You really aren't an airport. You're much better than those model photos online. The only downside is, why didn't you show your whole face? It feels like something's missing. Show your full face. When Zhuang Meina posted photos like this before, she showed her face and even did things like biting her lip. That vibe was really nice. Why don't you make it perfect and take another one? After this critique, Soo-kan added a few eager emojis. Take another one, your big head. Go to hell. Seeing Soo-kan's reply, Lynn Laurent felt as if she had eaten honey. The corners of her mouth curled up as she typed her reply. She voluntarily sent him a seductive, private photo herself. All he said was to make it perfect by not blocking her face. Why the big anger? Telling him to go die. She sure didn't hold back. But since she told him he could go die, Soo-kan wasn't going to simp for her anymore. Soo-kan then opened the family group. It was mostly daily chatter, so he didn't look closely. Then he opened the hardcore driver buddies group. There were way too many mentions of him. What was going on? After looking at one message, Soo-kan went to check his Moments feed. Holy crap. No wonder Lynn Laurent sent that to him. Zhuang Meina was simply trying to incite criminal behavior. Seeing Zhuang Meina's seductive chest photo and the emotional caption in her Moments, this whole setup actually left Soo-kan somewhat speechless. It was her who didn't want him back then, yet she made it seem like he was the irresponsible one now. Lynn Laurent likely sent that photo to him only after seeing the one Zhuang Meina had posted. It was truly amusing when women got jealous. This little maneuver played right into his hands. It was just a pity that Lynn Laurent had covered most of her face. It would have been even more evocative otherwise. It was rare for the Best Buddies group chat to blow up with 999 plus messages, and all his close friends had sent him private messages as well. Sukin decided to confirm their speculations and give a response. Sukin forwarded a photo of them eating intimately together, which Lin Luoran had previously sent to his family group, into the best friend drivers group chat. Brother Can, Lord Can, you actually landed our goddess, the campus beauty? You are the idol and role model for our generation. With a face as handsome as mine, that was a piece of cake. Sending ellipses? Nothing left to say? Sukin closed the buddies group chat and opened the family of 3 group. Since the creation of the extended, loving family group, this smaller one had barely been used, so much so that Sukin had almost forgotten its existence, but he had suddenly remembered it just now. He planned to talk to his parents in this group rather than the large one. It wasn't that he was worried about whether money was more attractive to Lin Luoran than his looks. Sukin disdained testing such realistic issues. His reasoning ran deeper. One could do high-profile things in a family group, but one shouldn't act like a high-profile person in front of relatives. Dad, Mom, you don't need to send me living expenses anymore. I'm going to make a lot of money this summer. Mom, son, why are you using this chat? I forgot we even had this small group. Is there something you can't say in the big group? Mom, I made a bit too much money. I'm afraid it'll put pressure on my cousins and create too big a gap, which would ruin the harmonious atmosphere of the extended family group. After all, there aren't many people as awesome as me in the whole country, so our family should keep a low profile in front of the relatives. Son, just keep bragging. What did you make? Several thousand. Mom, why need to be low profile for just several thousand? That's low profile by definition. Son, you mean you made over 10,000? That's really good. If it's over 10,000, that really is high profile. After all, your cousins haven't even cracked 10,000 in salary after graduating years ago. If you make that much from a summer job, it would really make your eldest uncle's family lose face. Mom, can't you think a little higher of your son? It's not just over 10,000. You need to add another digit. Son, come on, stop pulling my leg. Just tell me, how much did you actually make? The first day's royalties were 500,000. Adding the Great God verification gifts frantically spammed over the previous days by reader daddies who were handsomer than Daniel Wu and beat Eddie Peng. His earnings were currently around 540,000. So far, it was 540,000. Give it a little more time, and 1 million shouldn't be a problem. I estimate I can make 1 million this summer. Mom, you're going to make your old mom die of laughter. Dad, you don't even draft your lies before you tell them. Son, it's a good thing you didn't say this in the big group. It's too embarrassing. Our family has produced a hero who can blow a brag all the way to the sky. I'm really not bragging. I've already earned 540,000. There's still half the summer left. I think saying 1 million is actually an underestimate. What? Son, you've earned 540,000 right now. Mom. Dad, Mom, what do you mean by sending ellipses? Are you speechless with disbelief? On the other side, his editor, Ta Lang, sent another message. Sukin replied briefly and closed the group chat. Ta Lang, did you see your royalties? I saw them, great Ta Lang. Congratulations on your first day explosion. How long have you been writing books before this? Great Sanjiu. To have such accumulated power ready to unleash. This is my first time writing a web novel. What? This was his first time writing a web novel. Ta Lang was so shocked he didn't know how to type on the keyboard. His hand just happened to hit the period key, sending a string of a dozen dots. Sukin was puzzled. Are ellipses the trend these days? Why is everyone into ... dots now? From the buddies group to the parents chat. And now even the great editor is doing it. Fortunately, Ta Lang was quick with his hands and sent another message just as Sukin was about to close the chat window. Great Sanjiu, that was a typo just now. No problem. I was mainly just shocked. You exploded in popularity on your very first book. How are those who have been writing for over a decade supposed to survive? Everyone out there is saying you're an old driver, but I didn't expect you to be a newcomer. Pure newcomer. I'm really just a rookie who just entered the industry, definitely not some veteran. The internet is just talking nonsense. But great Sanjiu, how on earth did you do it? You've achieved God status right upon debut. Your natural talent is simply terrifying. Actually, I didn't expect it to blow up like this either. I think it was just luck. Great Sanju, you really are humble. You're simply a genius. No. Actually, I'm just a very ordinary person. I almost didn't make it into college back then. If I hadn't put in a desperate last-ditch effort, I'd be laying bricks at a construction site right now. I probably wouldn't have time to write this summer either. Smile, smile, smile. Great Sanju, you mentioned summer break. Is your day job a teacher? Is that why you have the summer off? No, I'm still a student. I'm currently in university. What? You're still a college student? Ta Lang was shocked once again. Oh my God, you are absolutely gifted, and you still say you aren't a genius. If I don't admit it, you'll say I'm humble bragging. Fine then, I am a web novel genius. Haha, rare that you realize that. Great Sanju. Next, the editor Ta Lang told Su Kin something. The tomato novel site had investigated the reason why Su Kin was being attacked. It turned out that Su Kin's god-tier plot progression had been targeted by a studio. They planned to copy-paste Su Kin's plot structure into multiple books to create mass hits. They hired many bots to ruin Su Kin's mentality, hoping his new book would die prematurely and be abandoned, so they could use his plot to create their own hits. Want me to abandon the book? Su Kin would walk step by step, to the peak of the whole world. I want to be the highest in this world. I'm not a man who will be a Zhao Gao. With just that level of skill, how could they make me quit? Those studio people are destined to miscalculate. Fortunately, great Sanju, your psychological resilience is good. Not only did you not break down, but you also burst out with so many chapter updates. When those studio bots argued with your fans, they actually drove Slaying Gods to a very high popularity level, making the new book a hit on its very first day. They originally wanted to destroy you, but they ended up making you successful instead. This is exactly the meaning of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Great Sanju, if you're a college student, what year are you in? You're so talented. Many female classmates must be chasing you, right? So you aren't single, are you? He didn't know why editor Ta Lang brought up such a private topic. Although he had reached a cooperation with Lin Luoran, the two weren't actually a couple. So he was undoubtedly still single. Sophomore single. You're already a sophomore. You can date in school. If you were to date, would you prefer junior girls or senior girls? I feel that junior girls always need seniors to coax them. I don't like being a simp. So if I had to choose, I'd prioritize senior girls. Sanju, then would you choose older sisters out in society? They know how to take care of people even better. Great Ta Lang, what do you mean by this? I feel like you're trying to play matchmaker for me. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Of course. For such an excellent guy like you, I definitely have to let my best friend get first dibs on the prime resource. Ta Lang sent several lustful emojis. Great Ta Lang, you're amazing. You can even be close besties with girls. Ta Lang suddenly went nanny. I am a girl. Surely he doesn't think I'm a male editor? I am a female editor in the male frequency section. But this misunderstanding is even better. A bold idea had already popped in her mind. She decided to play matchmaker for herself. My best friend is also in our tomato company. She is the visual representative of our company, the #1 beauty of tomato. How about you add each other and chat? Facing the editor's enthusiasm, Su Kin felt it wouldn't be good to reject it outright. After all, the person was being kind and was also his managing editor. If she got angry, the consequences could be serious. He had often seen novels suddenly disappear while reading them in the past. This kind of thing depends on fate. You can have her add my account. Su Kin replied to Ta Lang readily. All right then. Ta Lang felt a surge of excitement, feeling like she was about to snag a massive, national treasure-level opportunity. Ta Lang was confident in her looks. After all, the title of Tomato's #1 beauty editor wasn't an empty name. She was very optimistic about this rookie king, Sanju. He was an author who would soon reach the status of a supreme god in web literature, with skyrocketing earnings. Chatting with him was comfortable, and the company didn't forbid editors from dating authors. My luck with women is really blooming today. Even great Ta Lang is playing matchmaker for me. My damn good looks and charm must be felt even through the screen. Otherwise, why would he offer to introduce a beauty to me? After chatting with Ta Lang for a while, Su Kin returned to his side account's family group chat. Mom, son, you didn't do anything illegal or criminal, right? Dad, if you did, turn yourself in immediately. If there's a fine, we'll sell an apartment, so you can eat prison food for a few less years. What is all this? Mom, Dad, my money is as clean as it gets. Unless you robbed a bank. What else could you have done to get this much? Couldn't I have won the lottery? Did you actually win the lottery? No. The web novel I wrote suddenly blew up. There are millions of people writing novels, and only a handful ever make it big. You just keep trying to fool us. If you don't believe me, I'll show you a screenshot of my earnings dashboard. Then, they saw a whole lot of digits. This picture isn't fake, is it? Our son started reading Soul Land in 6th grade and kept reading novels through middle school. We even got called in by his teachers for it. I think he's telling the truth. He really made money writing, Mom said. Then, Mom started spamming firework emojis in the group chat. Just then, a WeChat friend request popped up. Talong had 2 phones. A work phone logged into her professional accounts, and a personal phone. She added Su Kin on the latter. Hello, great God Sanju. I'm Talong's best friend, Yuling Long. I graduated last year. If you're a sophomore this year, that makes me 3 years your senior. Do you mind chatting with an older sister? They say a wife 3 years older guarantees a wealthy life. Sister Ling Long, I don't mind at all. Since you're an editor too, please give me some guidance on my book in the future. Just as Su Kin was hitting it off with Talon's personal account, someone was suddenly added to the small family group chat. Empress Dowager Dong had pulled Lin Luoran in. She even angrily tagged Su Kin to demand an answer. Why didn't you tell little Lin about writing web novels? Little Lin, keep a close eye on Su Kin for us from now on. He's got a lot of money on him. His royalties are huge. Mom had pulled Lin Luoran into the even more private inner family circle. More shockingly, she had asked Lin Luoran to manage his finances directly. Empress Dowager Dong, did you even ask for my permission? After being pulled into the group, Su Kin's inner family circle, Lin Luoran felt this was a step further in recognizing her as a future daughter-in-law. Then, from Annie Dong's explanation, she learned 2 things. First, Su Kin was writing web novels. Second, Su Kin was earning quite a lot in royalties. She recalled that Su Kin spent his summer in the library, had his novels confiscated several times in high school, and often read on his phone. It wasn't surprising that a book lover like him could write one. As for the lot of royalties, she estimated maybe tens or hundreds of thousands, which wasn't much to her. Feeling that Auntie was favoring her so strongly, she felt mostly touched. She resolved to remember her mission, to maintain harmony within Su Kin's family. Auntie, having some money on hand will make it easier for Su Kin to socialize properly. But if he spends recklessly, I'll definitely let you and Uncle know. Little Lin, socializing doesn't cost that much. He currently has over 500,000, and by the end of this summer, he'll likely have 1 million. Lin Luoran was slightly surprised. Over 500,000 in royalties already, and 1 million by this month? Pretty impressive, student Su Kin. That novel, could it be? Recently, the high school alumni group had been recommending a book called Slay the Gods. It was super popular. Wang Chaoyong said it was written by a friend of Su Kin's. She had gone to read it. After all, since Wang Chaoyong said it was Su Kin's friend, she wanted to support it. She found it quite good. Could it be that the author wasn't Su Kin's friend, but Su Kin himself? Lin Luoran felt that she absolutely could not let the others in the high school group know about this for the time being, especially Zhuang Meina. That woman, it was hard to tell if she was crazy or just a shape-shifting eel. Today she posted another quote. If longing had a sound, it would be deafening. Back then, I was so brilliant in your eyes, just like your brilliant appearance is now in my heart. She put the word brilliant in quotation marks. Any old classmate would know who she meant. She was practically calling out Su Kin by name. Every day, she posted artsy, melancholy captions on her moments, accompanied by tons of intimate selfies. This time, instead of showing cleavage up top, she was showing off her legs. Her shorts were an absolute eyesore, getting shorter and shorter to the point she might as well not be wearing them. The guys in the class were all acting like thirsty simps, as if they'd never seen a woman before. Lin Luoran was utterly speechless when it came to Zhuang Meina. Her feelings towards Su Kin, the guy who was dead last in high school, were the complete opposite. She still hadn't figured out how he became such a dark horse in the college entrance exam. And now he was making 500,000 writing web novels while in college. Lin Luoran's curiosity about Su Kin deepened layer by layer. Seeing Annie questioning Su Kin like that, she sent him a private message. I'll put in a good word for you. I really didn't know you were writing a novel before, and I didn't understand the situation, which made Annie get mad at you. Sorry about that, Lin Luoran wrote. All right, then we'll continue to cooperate. You'll get the credit for today's matter, and next time you need my cooperation, I'll readily agree, Sukin said. Annie, I also know that men with money tend to go bad. I'll keep an eye on Can he? Over here, Lin Luoran said in the group chat that she would manage Su Can's finances well. Seizing the opportunity, Su Can also ensured his manuscript fees wouldn't be confiscated. Okay, I'll let Shaolin keep a close eye on my money bag. I'll listen to my wife. Su Can played along. His mother frowned again upon hearing her son's words. Her son was so obedient to his daughter-in-law. She felt a bit disappointed, as if her son had found a partner and was going to forget his mother. Su Can and Lin Luoran were in a cooperative relationship, not a real couple at all. They were just pretending, and she had nothing to do with his money, not a single penny. Su Can didn't need to depend on her mood. His parents, however, didn't know any of this. So Su Can seized the opportunity and said, Mom and Dad, since Shaolin is watching over it, then I won't give you my manuscript fees when they come in. Anyway, you don't really need my money, right? In a group chat, Mom saw Su Can being very submissive. Although Su Can now had so much money, she didn't say much more. After all, the money was earned by her son himself. If he were in high school, they would definitely keep it safe for him, but now their son was a university student, and there was nothing wrong with him spending the money he earned himself. They truly weren't sure of that money. With 6 houses in Jiangnan City, there were also big landlords in their small area. Now their son didn't even need them to pay for anything. From now on, it would only be incoming, no outgoing. They had nowhere to spend their own money, so why would they want their sons to keep it for him? Now there's a daughter-in-law, isn't there? Over here, Dad instructed Su Can, Son, you earn money from your summer job. Send some red packets in the group too, so the elders can buy some water or watermelon. Dad, absolutely. I've snatched so many red packets usually. It's finally my turn, with my newfound means, to send some. In a large family group chat, a loving family, Su Can announced he was distributing his first month's summer job salary and wanted to share a bit with everyone. Red packets for buying water. The manuscript fees hadn't actually arrived yet. They were just numbers in the back end. Su Can used his own money as an advance, but he also grandly sent several big red packets in one go. It wasn't just red packets from earning money through his summer job. There were also red packets to make up for having a girlfriend, and so on. He had been chatting for most of the day, and today's tasks were still not finished. He needed to get to work. Over there, the Talang also sent him a message, asking how his chat with her best friend went. We chatted a bit. It felt quite good. Ta Lang was more concerned about Su Can's condition, worried that he might overexert himself by constantly publishing massive updates, and thus not write for long. This was because new writers often feel drained dry after writing for a while, and then stop updating, ruining even a potential bestseller. Editor Ta Lang then said that the recommendation mechanism of the Tomato Novel website required stability and optimal quality. Regarding to Ta Lang's concern about being drained dry, Su Can said his writing flowed like a spring. For over a year now, Su Can had swept through both his university library and the Kyoto City Library, and he was the type who never forgot what he read. He had accumulated too much knowledge. Now he could simply squeeze it out effortlessly and didn't need to be drained at all. He just felt that writing tens of thousands of words daily might be delaying his time spent gaining experience points. He needed to find a balance. After finishing his chat with Ta Lang, Lin Luoran sent another message. Su Can, which day are you free these next few days? I'll go pick out some clothes for you. This campus belle must really be taken with his looks. Was she really turning this fake act into something real? Buying clothes for him. When girls buy clothes for boys, they usually look better. In his freshman year, he spent a lot of money on a piece of clothing, and he felt pretty good about it himself. But wearing his new clothes, he was outrageously pushed away by a girl. Hey you, classmate with the terribly uncool clothes, you're blocking my shot of our department hunk. Originally, Su Can felt he was busy that day, but he thought Lin Luoran, as a campus belle, probably had good taste. Starting his sophomore year, he was preparing to become a prominent figure on campus. He needed tasteful clothes. After you get new clothes, a few days later, pretend to be my boyfriend and come with me to an audition for a girl group in an entertainment company. I want to get into the music industry. I heard this talented and capable music producer is a bit inappropriate, likes to get touchy-feely. You come with me. If he dares to lay a hand on you, Miss Lynn, I'll smash his pig head. Fist emoji, fist emoji. So you don't need to buy me clothes? I'll still go. We're partners. Sukin immediately declared. He and Lin Luoran had already reached an agreement to cooperate, to be each other's tool person. For Campus Bell Lin to buy him clothes, he absolutely had to go. Especially since this was, besides his mother, the second woman to buy him clothes. Also, did this count as a date? After finishing his chat with Lin Luoran, he then chose to reply to some other messages he had received. Most of them were still gossiping about him. Lin Luoran and Zhuang Mena. Zhuang Mena seems to regret it. Hey, are you and School Beauty Lin dating? These people don't go fall in love themselves, yet they find it so interesting to gossip about me. But why do I feel so happy inside? However, he felt like he had accidentally gotten too carried away with chatting. The group chats and private messages were endless. For him right now, this wasn't ideal. After all, he had two most important things to do. First, complete the system's tasks and write a hit novel. Second, continue grinding experience points. If he stuck to his old rhythm, burying his head only in books of the sages, he probably could have maxed out the remaining knowledge-based experience points to the expert professor level within a few days. Now, lacking those few dozen or 100 points, it felt like he couldn't fill them up. In the past, he had ground nonstop for a year to get every stat up to 29,900. He ruthlessly cut off his phone's internet connection. This way, he would spend less time looking at his phone and slacking off. He would save that time spent slacking off to date the school beauty in 2 days. Right now, every minute counted. Following that, Sukin went to the library to grind experience points for the afternoon, then returned to write. 2 or 3 days passed just like that, and then Lin Luoran arrived. School beauty Lin was taking him to buy clothes, and Sukin was quite excited. During the days at Jiangnan No, one high school, she was the embodiment of youth for so many people. Even now, she remained an unreachable dream for many at Qingbei University. Lin Luoran was dressed very extravagantly today. Diamond earrings sparkled on her delicate pink earlobes, and she was clad entirely in elegant, noble name-brand clothing. Standing next to her, Sukin felt his own clothes were tacky beyond belief. Actually, Sukin had made a serious effort to dress up. Since he was going shopping for new clothes and on a date with the school beauty, Sukin had wanted to wear something nicer. However, ever since his most expensive piece of clothing, worth over 10,000 yuan, was mocked for looking too frumpy on him, he stopped buying high-end clothes. Since he buried himself in the library every day anyway, he usually bought casual clothes costing 300 or 400 yuan apiece. He had intended to dress up, but had to settle for his usual attire. However, he did brush up the bangs that usually covered his forehead today, giving him a bit of a streetwise youth vibe. On the road, near the Jingdu World Trade Center, a taxi pulled over. Sukan and Lin Luoran walked together toward the Jingdu World Trade Center building, famous for its luxury goods. Lin Luoran's peerless beauty, model-like figure, and elegant, expensive attire attracted the attention of every passerby. Consequently, Sukin also garnered a high rate of turning heads. That guy looks so tacky and ordinary, yet he actually has that kind of goddess as a friend. Give me one of those too. Many people on the street cast glances of envy and jealousy at Sukan. Walking into the World Trade Center building, the security guard uncle looked at him and inadvertently straightened his back, as if thinking, "You live off a woman. Even as a security guard, my backbone is stiffer than yours." Learning to live off women at such a young age. Sukin shot a glance back. You tried doing it then? School beauty Lin was so good. She brought him to such a high-end place to buy him clothes. He was truly too blissful. Before, with his living allowance of 10,000 yuan a month, he wouldn't come here to spend even if he had the time. After all, spending here meant tens of thousands, or even more. For him, consuming here was definitely living beyond his means. There were many luxury fashion stores, large and small, in the World Trade Center. Brands like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and Versace occupied the prime locations in the mall. A very domineering luxury brand had set up a massive flagship store inside, featuring both men's and women's fashion. Sukan, let's take a look in this one. You're the boss. thinking about how the school beauty was simping for him like this, buying him big brand clothes. Ah, his damn charm. Sukin marched into the shop, head held high and chest out. Even though he had clearly entered first, the sales assistant ignored him and attended to Lin Luoran. The clothes on Lin Luoran's body were pricey, and she was incredibly beautiful. She looked like a potential client at a glance. She spoke with a warm, beaming smile. "May I ask what style of clothes this lady prefers? Our store has just launched the latest skirts. Would you like to?" "I'm not looking at women's wear today. I'm here to look at men's wear," Lin Luoran said indifferently. The sales assistant then turned her gaze to the gentleman who had entered first. "Are these two boyfriend and girlfriend? Is this rich, beautiful young lady going to buy for him?" So they came together. "My mistake." She quickly welcomed the gentleman who had entered first. "Sir, you are really handsome. I was handsome just a moment ago, too, but you acted like you didn't see me when I walked in." "Sir, I am truly sorry. That was poor hospitality on my part. Ladies first. No need to be embarrassed." School beauty Lin was buying him clothes, so he was in a good mood. Sukin took the initiative to smooth things over for her. "Haha. Thank you for your understanding, sir. No wonder you have such a beautiful girlfriend. You are a broad-minded person." Sukin tried on many items of clothing. Shirt, tie, trousers, leather shoes. She didn't even overlook the small details like socks. Lin Luoran certainly didn't let anything slide. School beauty Lin really knew how to take care of people. Sukin felt she was even more meticulous than Empress Dowager Dong. However, when Sukin saw the price of the final outfit selected in the store, he nearly wet himself. A total of $188 million. The royalties from his viral debut couldn't even compare to the cost of these clothes. No wonder he often saw those god-level authors who earned millions a year complaining about being poor in their novels. They really were poor by comparison. As a rising new god of web literature wearing clothes from this shop, he felt terrified that he might damage them. He wouldn't be able to afford the compensation. "Lin Luoran, shall we look at some other places and compare?" "What's wrong?" Lin Luoran asked as she pulled out her card. Sukin pointed out the numbers on the bill to her. It was frightening. Lin Luoran merely glanced at it indifferently, smiled slightly, and said to the cashier, "I'll take it." "Huh?" Sukin's mouth formed an O shape. She was buying it even at this astronomical price. Swipe, settle sign. Sukin watched Lin Luoran successfully make the payment. Mother of God, the school beauty was actually this flush with cash. That was $188 million. Sukin felt like he was meeting Lin Luoran for the first time. He hadn't realized she was a hidden, true, super-rich second generation during their high school days. He had thought earning over $500,000 in royalties made him a big shot, but compared to school beauty Lin's financial power, he was basically scum tier. She casually spent $188 million just to buy him clothes. What did her family do? Did they own a mine? Could he return the whole outfit and just take the cash instead? $188 million in cash would feel quite heavy in hand. In Jiangnan City, that was enough to buy 2 apartments. It was laughable, really. He had previously assumed Lin Luoran intentionally stayed in his family group chat because there were so many red packets being distributed. He felt like he had been slapped in the face repeatedly. This single shopping trip had completely refreshed Su Kan's understanding of his classmate Lin Luoran. It even made Su Kan feel like they were from 2 different worlds. However, now that he had the system, Su Kan felt that using knowledge to monetize wealth was just a matter of time, wasn't it? Therefore, young and armed with a system, he felt no inferiority. When Lin Luoran saw that Su Kan's mindset didn't shift in the slightest despite her spending over $1 million on clothes for him, she thought he lived up to his reputation as the mysterious classmate she couldn't figure out. After buying the outfit, they continued strolling for a while. During this time, Su Kan wanted to buy Lin Luoran a return gift, but since his royalties hadn't been issued yet, he couldn't afford anything for her here. Looking at necklaces worth hundreds of thousands, bags worth millions, watches worth tens of millions in the display windows, and even sports cars worth tens of millions in the exhibition hall, he decided he would just treat Lin Luoran to a meal instead. After all, the cost of a meal for 2 shouldn't be that exaggerated, right? The top floor of this mall was for fine dining. Su Kan felt he had been careless. Eating here was also exaggerated. Average cost, over $10,000 per person. Gritting his teeth, He thought, it's okay, I can handle it. But if they ordered something like Remy Martin, that wouldn't work. One bottle was 88,888 yuan. 88,000 a bottle. Was that holy water for humans to drink? This clothing shopping trip with school beauty Lin had really opened his eyes. However, this also sparked a desire in him to make more money in the future. To make enough so that he could afford to browse and buy any item here, even the Aston Martins, Ferraris, or Lamborghinis worth tens of millions. Moreover, with the system, even though he was just a student, he felt it wasn't unreasonable to become a trillionaire, as long as he released things one by one. But for now, Su can only hope Lin Luoran just wanted to eat a bowl of shrimp noodles for 688 yuan. What do you want to eat? I'm treating you today. I don't want to eat here. Let's go to Quanjude for roast duck. She dropped nearly 2 million on him, yet she only wanted to eat a roast duck meal, averaging 188 yuan per person. While eating the roast duck, Sukin still felt he was taking too much advantage of her. He wasn't the type of person to casually take advantage of others. Lin Luoran had spent a fortune to make him her flower vase, but Sukin wasn't a man willing to be just eye candy. Classmate Lin Luoran, what are you performing for this audition? I chose a youthful, passionate, and sexy song and dance routine. I was afraid I'd sing it too well and get taken advantage of, so I dragged classmate Sukin along. He hadn't expected the school beauty to be so confident. In the entertainment industry, the style for youthful songs and dances nowadays was all about showing off long legs. Sukin felt that the so-called concept of youth had been led astray by those people in the industry, heading down a path of sexiness. He believed that youthful song and dance didn't necessarily require exposing long legs. Sing a little for me, too. Let me enjoy it. I happen to have taught myself some music theory, so I have some ability to appreciate it now. I didn't expect you to like both novels and music so much, Sukan. In that case, let's go get an hourly room later, and I'll give you a preview performance. After saying this, Lin Luoran tore off a small piece of duck meat and ate it. Sukin hadn't expected Lin Luoran would want to get a hotel room just to sing for him. One big happy family, Mom kept tagging Sukan. Son, little Lin took you shopping for clothes? Send us a picture. Let Mom see what she bought you. Mom, I didn't take a selfie. Auntie, I already took one. With that, Lin Luoran sent over the photo of Sukin trying on clothes from earlier. Cousin Lingling was the first to reply, sending several hard eyes emojis. Wow, cousin, you're so handsome. Clothes really do make the man. Son, wearing that outfit, you look just like those handsome superstars on TV. Uncle happened to be lurking in the chat. He was checking to see exactly what kind of clothes Sukan's girlfriend had bought him. That brand looks familiar. Uncle asked his wife beside him. His wife exclaimed in shock. That's a luxury brand. Clothes from that brand are more expensive than LV bags. That Anima brand starts at 500,000 yuan per piece. Uncle asked, the knockoff? No, every authentic piece has a serial number. That one has the code. It's a real Anima brand item. That single piece of clothing costs over 500,000. Akin has found himself a genuine, super rich second-generation girlfriend. She spends $500,000 just on a shirt. My nephew is a top student who could rely on his talent to make a living, but I never expected he'd conquer a super heiress just with his looks. He had only said he wanted to see Lin Luoran perform, but he hadn't expected her to go straight to booking an hourly hotel room for 3 hours. Mom, gotta go. Little Lin and I are tired from shopping, so we're getting an hourly room to rest a bit. Last time it was a hotel, this time an hourly room. Oh boy. Son, take good care of little Lin. Of course, I wouldn't mind if you two got married while still in college and brought a grandson back to Jiangnan City. Our family doesn't need you two young people to struggle for anything. We have everything you need at home. Mom, we don't want to go back to Jiangnan City right after graduation. We're going to school in Jingdu, after all, and we're young. We definitely want to try making it in the capital together first. Dong Tianjiao suddenly felt a mountain of pressure. She wondered how many apartments in Jiangnan City she'd have to sell to scrape together enough for a marital home for her son in Jingdu. But thinking about the millions in royalties her son might earn, well, that would at least leave enough for their own retirement. So, she didn't feel as anxious as before. The hourly room. The family planning products displayed in the hotel room made Sukan's heart race wildly. Aside from his time as a simp for Zhuang Meina in high school, Sukan was basically a blank slate when it came to romance. let alone being in a hotel room with a girl. This old man's first kiss was still intact. However, thanks to his best friend's driver theory group, he had learned quite a bit. He was now infinitely approaching the completion of his transition from boy to man. While Sukin was thinking about indescribable things, Lin Luoran put down her bag, turned on the room's TV, connected to the internet, and searched for the song and music she had chosen. Sukan, I found it. It's this one, My First Love. Why are you taking off your pants? Sukin hadn't expected classmate Lin Luoran to be so direct. Shouldn't they make out a little first? I'm going to perform for you. He had the wrong idea. This song requires constant leg shaking, so I need to show my long legs. Then Lin Luoran was left in shorts that ended 3 inches above the knee, revealing exquisite ankles and long, porcelain white legs. Sexy as a fox was probably the best way to describe this kind of enchanting girl. I'm starting now, classmate Sukan. Lin Luoran began to sing and dance. My first love came a bit suddenly, came a bit fast, but please let me love enough at once for now and hereafter. Lin Luoran performed an electric dance with her long legs, biting her lip. It was indeed very seductive, but the song really wasn't great. But that's how the entertainment industry is nowadays. If the song isn't good, make up for it with sexy dancing. Let me love enough at once, give you my all. Lin Luoran continued singing. Over these past few days, aside from writing, Sukin had also maxed out the experience points for 3 knowledge categories: music, art, and mathematics. He gained 300 points for each, totaling 900 system points. After spending 500 points on the Investiture of the Gods plot last time, the system had only had 100 points left, and the system store had been completely dark with nothing available to redeem. Now he had 1,000 points again. Sukan's knowledge of music was sufficient for him to write songs, but to produce a hit song, a legendary track, or even a timeless masterpiece in a short time, he knew he would have to rely on the mysterious exchange system. Sukin directly spent his exchange points in the music section to acquire the ability to create a song that would make him famous with just one performance. Lin Luoran, I have an original song I wrote for you. I believe that as long as you perform it, you'll definitely gain recognition. Not only could Sukin write novels, but he could also compose lyrics and music. The school beauty, Lin Luoran, was utterly astonished. Sukin took the pen and paper from the hotel suggestion box and began writing the lyrics on the paper. He felt as though the ideas for the song were gushing forth like a spring. With the first surge of clear, cool water, it seemed as if he had lost control, and the words poured out, forming a river in the blink of an eye. The song was completed in one go. If love is truly great, why should I struggle? Out of 10 men, 7 are foolish, 8 are dull, 9 are bad, and 1 is loved by all. Sisters, step up. Even if you have to sweet-talk him into coming over, love him well and never let him leave. The way Sukin had focused on writing the song just now was incredibly handsome. As Sukin finished writing, Lin Luoran's gaze shifted from his handsome face to the lyrics on the page. The lyrics were clearly a youthful, vibrant song. They were excellent, full of charm, and far superior to the song she had originally chosen. First Love. Lin Luoran was pleasantly surprised. She never expected Sukin to possess such musical talent. After finishing the lyrics, Sukin hummed the tune once. He was actually composing the melody. Then let's wait to fall in love, if love is truly great. Why should I struggle? Am I worse than others? Who wants to stay home on weekends, watching TV and eating popcorn? Thinking of the sweet words you said, tears flowed down like rain. Out of 10 men, 7 are foolish, 8 are dull, 9 are bad, and 1 is loved by all. Sisters, step up, even if you have to sweet-talk him into coming over. The song itself was a good one, but Sukin was singing a girl's song, and Lin Luoran wanted to laugh. However, seeing Sukin's serious and solemn expression, she held back her laughter. What surprised her even more was that Sukin was not only skilled at writing lyrics, but also seemed more proficient in musical techniques than she had imagined. The song required high notes, but Sukin effortlessly handled the transitions between falsetto and chest voice, infusing the girl's song with the right flavor. Observing Lin Luoran's expressive face, Sukin, who had composed the melody in just one go, said, "Now, sing along with me." "Okay," Lin Luoran replied excitedly. The song Sisters Stand Up, was meant for girls, and Sukin felt his rendition lacked soul since he was a boy with a completely different vocal tone. But when Lin Luoran sang it, her voice was playful and sweet. Her singing was truly delightful, especially her delicate, beautiful vocal tone. Sukin had a feeling that this song would become a hit because of her. After a few rounds of practice, Lin Luoran declared, "Sukin, I've decided to sing the song you gave me. I feel it's 100 times better than the one I originally chose. And I don't have to dance seductively either." In the hotel room, Sukin guided Lin Luoran through the song. Lin Luoran had a strong aptitude for music. After practicing with her a few times, she was already able to sing about half of the song with decent accuracy. After singing for an hour and a half in the hotel room, Sukin handed her a bottle of water and even opened the cap for her. "Moisten your throat." "Sukin, you're quite thoughtful." Lin Luoran reached out to take the water from Sukin. Their fingers brushed against each other. Lin Luoran felt a jolt, as if she had been electrified, especially when she realized that the room they had booked was an hourly rate couple's suite, complete with a pink bed in the background. Ever since she had become curious about Sukin, she had spent more time with him in these past few days than in all 3 years of high school. The more she learned about him, the more she discovered that Sukin was like a treasure trove, full of surprises waiting to be uncovered. Unconsciously, she began to feel a bit of affection for him. An unusual atmosphere began to fill the room. "Too shy to even look at you. Falling into your love? Too embarrassed? What should I do? What should I do?" A nervous heart, a very nervous heart, pounding wildly. Lin Luoran eagerly hoped Sukin would say something like, "Lin Luoran, why don't we make this fake relationship real? Be my real girlfriend." But alas, Sukin did not confess. Sukin looked at Lin Luoran, feeling a strong attraction himself. However, he had no intention of taking the initiative to confess. In this lifetime, he would no longer be a simp who chased after girls. He would not confess to anyone. He would only accept or reject others' confessions. As he grew more outstanding and would become even more remarkable in the future, he was not afraid of lacking girls who would confess to him. However, this didn't mean he wouldn't drop hints. The song he wrote for Lin Luoran went, 10 men, 7 are fools, 8 are dull, 9 are bad, but there's one everyone loves. Sisters, jump out. Even if you have to use sweet words to trick him over, love him well, never let him leave again." The implication was obvious. "Student Lin Luoran, if you take a little initiative, there will be a real story between us." On the other side, Lin Luoran was thinking in perfect synchronization. "Student Sukin, if you take a little initiative, there will be a real story between us." Lin Luoran was ready at any moment to close her eyes and let Sukin make a move. But what was Sukin's deal? He used to be such a simp for Zhuang Meina, yet he showed no intention of making a move on her. She now felt jealous of Zhuang Meina, whom Sukin had once confessed to. The two fought a silent war, staring at each other for quite a while. The music from the hotel room TV was still playing. Sukin, being the boy after all, spoke first. "There's still some time left on the hourly room. Do you want to rest a bit?" "I actually do want to lie down and rest," Lin Luoran said, and lay down, not being coy at all. Sukin had originally thought she was as flat as an airfield, but seeing that she hadn't completely escaped the pull of gravity, she was actually quite well endowed. Her figure was well curved. She was still wearing her shorts from singing, her long legs pale and white right before him. "Why don't you lie down too? This bed is huge." "Then I'll lie down for a bit too." On the large round bed, Sukin lay down and slowly scooted closer to Lin Luoran. He was preparing for things to happen naturally. Just as the lyrics sang, 9 out of 10 men are bad. Student Sukin was trying to take advantage of her, without planning to confess or promise anything. So when Sukin moved toward Lin Luoran, she shifted outward to keep a distance. It felt like if she moved any further, she would roll off. "Sukin, stop coming over. Let's just lie here for a while." With one sentence from Lin Luoran, Sukin honestly lay still. He and Lin Luoran weren't at that stage yet. He had just let it go to his head. Lin Luoran turned the topic back to the song. "Sukin, when did you write this song?" If he said he had just composed and written it right then, Lin Luoran definitely wouldn't believe him. "Recently. I wrote it not long ago. I haven't even registered the copyright yet." "Sukin, honestly, I've realized you know how to do so many things. Really? I think what you've discovered is just the tip of the iceberg. If you become a singer, I can write songs for you often. Sukin was flirting with Lin Luoran, and just when the atmosphere was building up again, the hotel front desk called. The time for the hourly room was almost up. Sukin felt so frustrated. He had been one step away from going from a boy to a man. Lin Luoran picked up on Su Kan's earlier words. Su Kan, is what you said true? You'll write songs for me often in the future? You can't go back on your word. Su Kan said, sounding a bit like he was venting, but there will be a fee. The money you spend on clothes this time can count as the copyright fee for my song. TCH. After Lin Luoran went back, she looked up the song Su Kan had written for her. She couldn't find it online. It was indeed an original song. Su Kan said he gave the song to her and told her to register the copyright. This was a good song that could make her famous overnight if she sang it. Lin Luoran didn't hesitate and register the copyright, though she listed Su Kan as the lyricist and composer. She was merely the owner of the song. For the next 2 days, Lin Luoran practiced the song Su Kan wrote endlessly. Su Kan continued to grind for experience and write at his own pace. The day arrived for Lin Luoran's interview at Xingsha Entertainment Company. Having promised to accompany her to the 10 a.m. interview, Su Kan went to the barbershop early in the morning for an exaggerated hairstyle and changed into his 188 million suit, looking every bit the stylish man. Seeing Lin Luoran again, she had also permed her hair yesterday and put on her most expensive clothes. She looked completely different from the innocent college student she was yesterday. Today, Lin Luoran wore lipstick and exquisite makeup, looking even more stunning than when they went shopping. Her features were already flawless, but after applying makeup, she looked positively heavenly. The term beautiful vixen was probably coined to describe a beauty like Lin Luoran. Standing together, they really had that star quality. Student Su Kan, you look very handsome today. Hearing the beauty praise him, the corners of Su Kan's mouth lifted, and he felt quite smug inside. He also felt that he was incredibly handsome today. Right back at you. You are very beautiful today. You've blinded my eyes. I wouldn't recognize you walking down the street. Let's take a taxi. They arrived at the building where Xingsha Entertainment Company was located. It was a structure with an exterior wall entirely made of glass curtains, reflecting the sunlight. The entrance to the building was decorated in a splendid, magnificent style. Starsan Entertainment Company was one of the top 3 domestic entertainment companies, possessing immense strength. This building was an asset under their own name, and they had numerous stars, both big and small, signed to their roster. Su Kan accompanied Lin Luoran to her audition. However, when he tried to go in with her, he was stopped. A staff member wearing a nameplate on their chest stated that only the interviewees themselves were allowed inside. I need to go in. What if someone pinches my girlfriend's butt? Sir, the audition room is under surveillance. You can watch from our monitoring room. All right then. Good luck, Lin Luoran. Su Kan patted Lin Luoran's slender waist as he offered his encouragement. Lin Luoran felt a surge of suspicion. Is an encouragement usually conveyed by a pat on the shoulder? Su Kan patting her slender waist. What kind of encouragement was that? Although she was the campus belle and goddess of Qingbei University at a top 3 national entertainment company like Starsan, Lin Luoran was at best a minor internet celebrity campus belle. She merely had the added gimmick of being from Qingbei University. However, among the campus goddesses hyped up by top domestic universities like Qingbei and Jingdu University, those who successfully entered the entertainment industry and established a foothold could be counted on one hand. Several interviewers sat at the long conference table. 3 men and 1 woman. The men and the woman coincidentally rated Lin Luoran's face and figure in their minds. The woman scanned her from top to bottom. The 3 men sized her up from bottom to top. Lin Luoran was indeed worthy of being Qingbei University's campus belle. She was actually prettier in person than in photos. That seductive face, a natural stunner. Lin Luoran swept her gaze across the interviewers. Teachers, I am Lin Luoran, 20 years old, currently studying at Qingbei University. I have taken on some roles, participated in some entertainment industry events, and worked as a print model. We have your resume. The middle-aged female interviewer interrupted Lin Luoran. Ms. Lin Luoran, your looks are excellent, and being from Qingbei University means your education is impressive. However, I must say that high education and good looks aren't enough to become famous in the entertainment industry. Besides acting skills and talent, this is a place that heavily relies on opportunity and patrons. Even with all that, becoming a star isn't guaranteed. This time, we are looking for high-potential singers to form a girl group to participate in a super show jointly created by domestic entertainment companies. Ms. Lin Luoran, you are not professionally trained in the arts. How can you stand out? This middle-aged woman was aggressive right from the start. Was this a rhythm set to reject her immediately? Regarding the final few spots, the middle-aged woman had internally designated one for her niece. Driving away girls who looked like seductive vixens wasn't the first time this woman had squeezed out an interviewee like this. Moreover, she had the tacit approval of the others beside her. Lin Luoran was not angered by the middle-aged woman, nor was she submissive. Instead, she remained neither humble nor arrogant. Next, I will sing an original song written by my boyfriend for you all. An original song? That's interesting, said Ma Jinlong, Star Sands' ace music producer. Then just wait to fall in deep, if love is truly great. Thinking of the sweet words you said, tears flowing down like rain. 10 men, 7 are fools, 8 are dull, 9 are bad, and there's one that everyone loves. The catchy lyrics and melody made it perfectly suitable to be a lead single with an MV. That ace music producer was completely captivated by the song. Lin Luoran sang a cappella, which further highlighted the softness and charm of her voice. Her vocal tone was very alluring. The melody of the song, in particular, moved the Star Sand ace music producer. He had hit a bottleneck in composing songs for girl groups, but listening to this song gave him the feeling that the blockage was about to be cleared. It turned out that songs not following the sexy route could also stir men's hearts, and this song was exactly that kind. He became extremely interested in this beauty's boyfriend. Aside from the ace producer, the director was even more blatant. Ms. Lin, you sang this song well, and the song itself is excellent. I'd like to ask, would your boyfriend be interested in joining our Star Sand Entertainment Company? We highly value talented music creators. Lin Luoran felt as if her thunder had been stolen by Su Kan. She had sung very well, yet this company didn't want to sign her first. Instead, they wanted to invite Su Kan to join them immediately. Wasn't this an indirect way of saying she wasn't as good as Su Kan? Regarding my boyfriend, you can ask him yourself since he came with me and is just outside. However, isn't this my audition right now? Lin Luoran couldn't help but retort. Haha. Yes, right now is Ms. Lin's audition. Ms. Lin sang this song very well. As long as this song is truly original, I think it can make Ms. Lin famous overnight. It has already moved us. The director, sitting in the center, laughed as he spoke. You have been accepted by our company as a member of the Star Sands Entertainment Girl Group. Next, we would like to meet your boyfriend. Please ask him to come in. When Lin Luoran came out of the interview office, she wore a solemn expression, wondering whether it was her own strength or Su Kan's song that had gotten her hired by Star Sands. She had the looks, the figure, and the voice. Su Kan watched Lin Luoran walk out with a serious face. His heart sank. Could it be that singing my song messed things up? That shouldn't be possible. Items from the system are guaranteed masterpieces, aren't they? He tentatively asked Lin Luoran. You didn't get selected? I have the looks, the figure, and the voice. If they didn't choose me, it would definitely be their loss. Fortunately, they didn't suffer that loss and hired me. However, they gave me the impression that it was on your account. It makes me so mad. So you were hired. You made it look like a failure. And what account of mine? I don't know anyone at Star Sands Entertainment. They are very interested in your original lyrics and want to meet you. Soon, the staff member wearing a name badge, the same one who had previously refused him entry, came to invite Su Kan. I say, just a moment ago you wouldn't let me in, and now you're inviting me. I'm not going. Sir, I am truly sorry, sir. I was only following rules and regulations. Please be understanding, sir. Su Kan wasn't one to make a situation impossible for others. After venting a bit verbally, he followed the man into the office. He also had intentions of collaborating with this company. How to make money. Writing songs could make money, especially through revenue sharing. He had the system store treasury. He could definitely make big money. If a record sold 1 million copies, and his share was 2 or 3 yuan per copy, that would be 2 or 3 million. If he had dozens of bestsellers, That would mean tens of millions coming in. For the sake of the banknotes, Soo-kan did not refuse. When Soo-kan entered, everyone was astonished because he was so young. However, he was dressed in designer brands, including anime clothes. The people present were high spenders who knew their goods. That outfit alone must have cost hundreds of thousands, and his entire ensemble probably added up to over 1 or 2 million. Therefore, they showed no slight. There was only amazement at his youth and wealth. Then, they whispered among themselves, "Teacher Soo is too young." I wonder if that song was an occasional burst of inspiration or his true skill. That's easy to handle. We can test his skill right here on the spot. A middle-aged woman said, "My niece doesn't have a good song. Let my niece come in, and teacher Soo can compose a song based on her voice." "No, my goddaughter has already been hired. Let her try first," the director of Star Sands Entertainment said. His authority in the company was higher than that of the middle-aged female director. Soon, the director's goddaughter arrived. She was a very clean-looking girl. It felt like a pity, so young, yet already a goddaughter. The girl sang a song called Tomorrow. For a musician or a singer, one's own voice is extremely important. People listen to the song. Although a good appearance can add points for a singer, one can still be famous with just a good voice, like Han Hong. But if you don't have good vocal conditions, you definitely won't survive in the singing industry. Of course, nothing is absolute, but this is the case in most situations. Based on her voice, Soo can once again use his points to exchange for a song skill that could make someone famous in one shot. After creating the lyrics, he hummed and composed the melody on the spot. Composing based on a person's timbre is also crucial. If the arrangement is poor, even good lyrics are wasted. In reality, this happens often. You hear a certain song and don't think much of it, but one day you suddenly hear someone else sing it on a show, and it feels brilliant. Usually, that's because it has been rearranged. The arrangement is like a bowstring, a good string. A good composition allows the singer's voice to be fully utilized, bringing out the artistic conception and theme of the song to the greatest extent and helping the singer push the emotions of the song into place. After humming, Soo can sing the song loudly once more. Every time, even if I'm hurt, I don't let tears shimmer. I know I always have a pair of invisible wings. I finally see all dreams blossoming. The young singing voice chasing them is so resonant. These people from the entertainment company were all sensitive to music. The line, "I finally see all dreams blossoming," felt like a sudden, powerful electric current striking their entire bodies. Good song. Good lyrics, good melody. With this song, his goddaughter would definitely be a hit. What is the name of this song? Another interviewer, a leader from the records department, asked. Invisible Wings, Soo-kan said. The middle-aged woman had already searched for the song title on her phone. There was no song called Invisible Wings online. This was truly an original work composed on the spot. He was simply a genius. A genius, truly a music production genius, overflowing with talent. Teacher Soo, if you create songs for our company, we are willing to buy them at a high minimum guarantee price. No. I don't want to buy out. I want a profit split. I want to share the song's revenue. If you agree to that, I'll write for your artists. If not, I'll collaborate with a company that is willing to discuss profit sharing. In the music circle, what is the most important thing? Is it the god of songs or the heavenly kings and queens? No, the most important thing in the music industry is resources. Top-tier lyricists and arrangers are currently the industry's most critical resources. With such resources, creating new music icons, kings, and queens is as easy as flipping one's hand. There is a saying in the music industry nowadays, it is better to offend the boss of a record label than to offend a top-tier songwriter. Why were you in there for so long? Are you planning to debut as a male singer too? With your talent, Soo-kan, I think you could definitely become a superstar heavenly king. I'm not that interested in being a singer and rushing from concert to concert. I've reached a business deal with Shingsha Company. I'll be working as a part-time producer for Shingsha. From now on, you can call me Teacher Soo or Teacher Kan. With one song, Sister Stand Up, and another, Invisible Wings, Soo-kan was directly invited to join the production team of Shingsha Entertainment, and as a top-tier member at that. This was because he demanded profit sharing, a privilege usually reserved for their top gold medal producers. Of course, the conditions were harsh. If sales didn't reach 1 million copies in a month, Sookin wouldn't get a single cent. Generally, selling 50,000 albums a year makes a singer's record a minor hit. Selling 1 million copies a year is something only a major blockbuster achieves. Yet Sookin's time frame was only 1 month. Record sales are typically a long-term process. However, Sookin was just that stubborn, or rather confident. The 1 million copy target was effectively a gambling agreement between him and Shingsha Entertainment. Shingsha Entertainment was thrilled. With the rise of the digital music market, the physical record market was in serious decline, and the youth market was sluggish. Many older fans felt that songs from the 80s and 90s were classics and preferred buying records of those older hits. Blockbuster albums selling 1 million copies were rare enough. Doing it in a month was a myth. They felt they had tricked a genius songwriter into working for free. Young people with talent really had no clue about the immensity of heaven and earth. Before signing the contract, Shingsha Entertainment asked Sookin to first provide a song for the Sweet Queen, He-Fei. Sookin had heard the Sweet Queen songs before, so he composed new Endless Love for her right on the spot. The Shingsha executives saw it. That song was an absolute divine track that could re-deify the fading Queen He-Fei. Although her album was about to hit the market, Shingsha decided to record and add Sookin's song at the last minute. Next, Sookin visited Shingsha Entertainment several times and signed a detailed contract. In terms of law, he had already grinded his experience to the level of an expert professor. Shingsha's legal department had intended to play some tricks in the contract, but Sookin picked out every single issue, frustrating the legal manager to no end. Is this Mr. Su a songwriter or a law student? He practically wanted to curse. Once the profit-sharing contract was settled, Sookin spent the next half-month writing songs for various singers in their company. Many were big stars who were losing their commercial value, but Sookin wrote new songs for them. Shingsha Entertainment designated all these tracks as the lead singles for their respective albums, planning to unleash a storm in the music industry. There were too many artists. Sookin ground for experience points even harder. He needed points to redeem God skills from the system store to create good songs. Unknowingly, half a month passed. By the end of August, Sookin finally maxed out the experience for all 108 types of knowledge and skills. He obtained over 30,000 points and redeemed 30 songs. Not just the fame-making songs costing 300 points, but also God-tier songs costing 500 points. His novel also reached over 300,000 words this month. As the word count increased, his revenue stabilized at 50,000 a day. When the draft payments were calculated in early September, Sookin received 1.95 million in royalties. In particular, the editor Talang told him some massive good news. Slaying Gods, Zhanshan, had gained the favor of major investors. The company was discussing copyright with these tycoons, and the fee was very high, in the range of tens of millions. Sookin's scalp tingled. They said writing novels was a dead end, with millions of web authors out there, but a blockbuster novel earning millions was truly impressive. Selling copyright rights for tens of millions was the absolute creme de la creme of awesomeness. You have to realize that out of the millions upon millions of web novels released every year, it's unclear if even 100 actually manage to sell their copyright rights. Selling for such an astronomical price is a once-in-a-decade occurrence. Yet, he had actually achieved the ultimate, usually impossible dream of all web authors in just a little over a month. Talong had told him this news the first day, and the very next day, Talong's editor best friend, Yiling Long, sent him a private message. Great God Sanjiu, I have good news for you. The rights to your book were finally negotiated with the investors for 28 million. Based on the revenue share, your cut of the licensing fee is 19.6 million. Add in your royalties from last month, and you have an income of 21.55 million. Upon hearing this, Sookin felt his mind go blank from the shock for a moment. Then, the number 20 million madly occupied his brain. He had over 20 million in income last month. There was a feeling of sudden wealth. This feeling of getting rich overnight was truly thrilling. And that was aside from his royalty income. Last month, Sookin also had income from Shingsha Entertainment. That diva's new album had blown up for half a month because it included Sookin's new lead single. At the last minute, it not only saved the diva's singing career, but also recreated the miracle of a best-selling solo album. It sold 2 million copies in half a month. According to the contract, Suk received a 2 yuan cut per copy, which amounted to 4 million. He had written songs for so many people's albums at Xingsha Company. Suk estimated that the upcoming revenue sharing from the songs would be no less than the copyright fees from his novel. On September 3rd, while Suk was eating breakfast at a roadside stall, his phone received a bank notification. Your card ending in 1908. Ordinary card received a transfer of 21,550,000 yuan via Super Online Banking at 8:30 a.m. on September 3rd, year 22 of the Blue Star calendar. Current balance, 21,563,990 yuan. Counterparty account ending in 0101. Counterparty name, Tomato Entertainment Information Technology Co. Ltd. At the same time, the system reward arrived. Congratulations, host, for completing the system mission, successfully creating a blockbuster hit. Reward, 1,000 points. Getting 1,000 points felt incredibly awesome. He couldn't get points by grinding experience anymore. He had to rely on missions. The system's missions were determined based on the host's status, the people and events around him, and also the desires generated in the host's heart. Now, he needed to start generating more desires. As a student just about to start his sophomore year, having 20 million in his card certainly brought a feeling of ultimate satisfaction. However, Suk had a small goal in his heart. First, get 100 million. Thus, a system mission was triggered. Host to possess 100 million in assets within 1 month. With 20 million in hand, money begets money. With so much knowledge at his disposal, earning another 100 million wasn't an issue. But to earn 100 million by himself in 1 month. To be safe, Suk used a system skill to exchange for a prediction in the economics category regarding the industry with the most explosive growth recently. He discovered it was digital currency. Within 2 days, digital currency would skyrocket tenfold. The system mission was a small goal, so Suk spent 10 million buying digital currency on a certain platform. Having been away for 2 months during summer vacation, he prepared to go home once before school started on September 15th. He mentioned this to Lin Luoran and asked if she wanted a couple's 3-day trip. His mom had been constantly pestering him to bring Lin Luoran home for a visit. When he mentioned the 3-day trip to Campus Berlin, she seemed completely clueless. She asked, "Why is it a 3-day trip?" He felt like if he pulled her into his best friend's driver group chat, he wouldn't need to explain. But thinking about it, he'd better just explain honestly. That theory group was always posting novels about 7 fairies and 1 man, various racy anime photos, and sometimes voice clips of guy drivers, plenty of late-night horndoggery. Don't we have a partnership? The first day of the trip is us riding transport together for a day. The second day, you go to my house to meet the parents. The third day, I go to your house to meet the parents. Do you want a couple's 3-day trip? Campus Berlin, that little rich lady, hid things quite deeply. Suk was actually quite curious about her family. A couple's 3-day trip to see her home. After all, for a family that casually bought him clothes worth millions, just how much money did they actually have? Of course, he was even more curious about her feelings toward him. Did she harbor any thoughts of turning their fake act into reality? He wanted to test the waters. After all, his musical talent had conquered not only her, but also numerous female stars at Xingsha Entertainment. If he weren't Lin Luoran's boyfriend, those older sisters would have pounced on him. Even knowing he was that newbie Lin Luoran's boyfriend, some female artists still made eyes at him during his visits to Xingsha. Their intention to poach him was completely exposed. If Lin Luoran truly had no intention of turning their fake act into reality, Suk wouldn't mind solving his 20-year streak of bachelorhood with some other female celebrity. I didn't think going back to Jiangnan City would be much fun, but after hearing about your 3-day couple's trip, it sounds very interesting, Lin Luoran replied. Suk saw this and felt absolutely pumped. He felt certain that Lin Luoran was interested in him. Otherwise, why would she agree to his 3-day couple's getaway? Testing the waters was one thing, but he would not be the one to confess his feelings first. Ever since his failed confession to Zhuang Meina, he believed that anyone who confessed proactively was just a simp. He was done being a simp. As long as he continued to show how excellent he was, sooner or later, even the campus belle would become a simp for him. It seemed things were already heading that way. Lin Luoran bought him clothes and was now willing to go on a couple's trip. Classic simp behavior. While he was plotting to make the campus belle simp for him, his own mother was relentlessly pushing him to be the simp. Sukin, you got your royalty payment, right? Do you want me to send you some money so you can buy clothes for little Lin? Your uncle told us there might be a gap between our family and hers, so you need to treat her even better than usual. That way, she'll stick with you. After his uncle realized the outfit Lin Luoran had bought for Sukin was from the brand Armani, he asked how much she had spent. Sukin truthfully answered, 88 million. This really shook Dong Meijiao. She and her husband owned 6 properties, but their savings hadn't reached 7 figures. They would never dream of spending the value of 2 apartments on clothes, not even for a future daughter-in-law. Unless a family had hundreds of millions, spending over $1 million on clothes would be heartbreaking. Little Lin's extravagance truly shocked Dong Meijiao. It made her feel even more strongly that this was a great daughter-in-law, rich, beautiful, and fair-skinned. If she married into the family, her dowry would probably include a villa. You bought clothes for me last time, so my mom insists I buy some for you. Let's go shopping before we head back. Sounds good. See you tomorrow. Arriving at the Jingdu World Trade Center again, Sukin was different from the sightseer he was last time. This time, he had over 20 million in his bank card. Lin Luoran, I think a qipao would be nice. My mom and aunts all love them. Why don't you wear the best qipao from here when you come to our house? Qipaos really accentuate a woman's curves. Sukin thought it would be a shame for the campus belle not to wear one given her amazing figure. Since you're the one buying, Sukin, I'll listen to you. At the flagship qipao store in the World Trade Center, even the most ordinary dress cost 3,000 yuan. Dresses costing tens or hundreds of thousands were displayed prominently. But one qipao in particular was placed in an exceptionally conspicuous spot. It was luxurious and beautiful. It was also a bit expensive, with a price tag of 560,000 yuan, causing many to simply click their tongues in awe and walk away. Let my girlfriends try that qipao on. Sukan's words instantly silenced the shop. Someone was actually going to try on that astronomically priced qipao. Lin Luoran was also slightly surprised. Didn't Sukin tell his family his royalties were only $1 million? Spending half of that on a qipao, for her, was truly generous. Was he doing this because he liked her? Or was it because she had bought him expensive clothes last time and he didn't want to be in her debt? Or was it something else? The poor talk about survival. The rich talk about feelings, insisting on keeping the ledger balanced. Lin Luoran probed. Sukin, is it because I bought you clothes last time that you're... If he said no, wouldn't that make him a simp? Buying a wildly expensive qipao just to impress her? So, refusing to be a simp, Sukin replied, Indeed, I don't want to owe you anything, Lin Luoran. Hearing this, Lin Luoran felt a tinge of disappointment. After all, she had desperately hoped Sukin would confess that he was doing it because he liked her, not just to return a favor. On the surface, however, she remained very happy. Sukin was buying her clothes, after all, even if it was just to settle a score. She continued to secretly steel her resolve. She would make Sukin confess to her and buy things for her of his own volition. She would make him show his love. She would not lose to Zhuang Meina. Lin Luoran changed into the priceless qipao. Dressed in the beautiful gown, she looked like a celestial maiden descended to earth. The term fairy was practically invented for a beauty like her. Sukin stared, his eyes wide. How does it look, Sukin? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. After that, in addition to buying the outfit for Lin Luoran, Sukin bought various gifts for his family and relatives. Before he knew it, he had swiped his card for over 4 million yuan. Didn't Sukin only have $1 million? How did he just swipe away 4 million in one go? Lin Luoran asked. Sukin, even if Starsan Entertainment paid you the royalties for the song, you wouldn't have more than 4 million, right? I sold the film, game, and animation rights to my novel. I netted over 20 million, Sukin said nonchalantly. Impressive, Sukin. You're amazing. Lin Luoran was delighted to see Sukin becoming more and more outstanding. Although she could easily produce 20 million herself, her money wasn't self-earned at the moment. Sukin was amazing. Earning 20 million right before starting university made him one of the most formidable college students out there. Truly worthy of the boy she had already fallen for. Seeing him laden with small gifts he bought for his family, he really was a very filial young man. Sukin sensed the growing affection in Lin Luoran's eyes. He was ready at any moment for Lin Luoran, the school beauty, to confess to him, after which he would do the things boyfriends and girlfriends do with her. However, until she confessed, he would stick to his principles and absolutely never be a simp. He was a man with a system, destined to reach the pinnacle of life and command respect from all. Being a simp for the school beauty? That was out of the question. He wouldn't confess, but teasing was certainly on the table. Or perhaps hopping on the train before buying the ticket would work too. Lin Luoran, are you tired from shopping? Do you need to get room by the hour for a nap? Sukin casually suggested opening an hourly room. However, he felt a bit nervous saying it. After all, he was still an innocent young man who hadn't even had his first kiss. So, meeting Lin Luoran's gaze, he wanted to look away slightly. But Lin Luoran just blinked at Sukan and said, "Sure, I actually do feel a bit sore and tired." Whoa! Sukan's pupils dilated sharply. School beauty Lin actually agreed. This school beauty Lin was definitely interested in him. Sukan was overjoyed. His heart was bursting with delight. Lin Luoran had a beautiful oval face and shallow dimples when she smiled. By current standards, she satisfied every fantasy of a beautiful girlfriend. He had actively proposed a room by the hour, and she accepted. This was surely mutual affection. Although he was ecstatic inside, Sukin pretended to be calm and voiced his justification for openly touching Lin Luoran. "I've done a little research on massage. In fact, I've mastered it. If your back is really sore, I can give you a massage. I guarantee you'll feel completely relaxed in no time." Sukin looked like he was enjoying the thought just by saying it. After all, massaging Lin Luoran. His hands would feel quite comfortable too. "I didn't expect you to have researched things like massage, Sukin," Lin Luoran said meaningfully. These days, some boys were very popular with aunties. Sukin didn't learn massage just to please aunties, did he? Sukin noticed the peculiar look in Lin Luoran's eyes. He hurriedly explained, "Ahem, I'm not that kind of toy boy you're thinking of. Acupoint massage belongs to the category of traditional Chinese medicine. I am very interested in Chinese medicine, and my skills are actually quite good." So your interests are this broad, and you can even apply your interest in TCM practically. You really are a scholar. Back in high school, aside from your college entrance exam scores, I really couldn't tell you were hiding so much talent. There was a hidden meaning in Lin Luoran's words. She clearly didn't believe him. Yes, I kept it too well hidden. I always wanted to keep a low profile back then. Originally a top student, I disguised myself as a slacker. Keeping up the act was really hard work. Lin Luoran felt Sukin was shamelessly bragging again. "Oh, so as to keep a low profile. Then back in high school, why was your confession to Zhuang Mena so high profile? And you got rejected, too." Sukin felt like he had been hit right where it hurts. Seriously, why bring up the pot that isn't boiling? Lin Luoran had dragged Zhuang Mena into this again. If he had possessed the system earlier in high school, the first person he confessed to would definitely have been Lin Luoran, not Zhuang Mena. "I confessed to Zhuang Mena so publicly back then because I actually knew she wouldn't accept me. I was low-key rejecting other girls, letting them know I actually liked Zhuang Mena. That way, no girls would harass me. After all, for someone as handsome as me, those adolescent girls couldn't resist my charm." Spinning a failed confession into a strategy to block other girls. Sukin really had a stubborn mouth. No one would have believed this in high school, but now, in her eyes, Sukin was a boy filled with endless hidden treasures, so it actually carried some credibility. "All right, I believe you. Now, let's go to the hotel, so I can experience Sukan's craftsmanship." Jingsa Vienna Hotel. Although Lin Luoran had no intention of paying, Sukin still rushed to pay for the hotel room first. He felt very excited. Just as he was about to enter the room, the manager of a crypto platform called Sukan. He saw the caller ID and realized his small goal of 100 million yuan was stirring. Excitement piled upon excitement. "Lin Luoran, why don't you go ahead into the room and rest? I'll take this call, then come in and give you a massage. Mr. Su, you truly are a master of crypto, short-term trading. The cryptocurrency you bought on our platform yesterday has surged 8 times. It soared tenfold so quickly. Will it be a roller coaster dive next? I need to sell those cryptocurrencies." "Oh, I see. Could you tell me what percentage commission you charge for settlements? Or just tell me directly how much you're taking now. Normally it's 10%, but for a valued client like Mr. Su, we're willing to lower the commission fee. Based on the market value of your cryptocurrency, your commission payable to us is 8 million. Damn, that's steep. 8 million. Su-kan cursed inwardly, but his tone remained generous. Oh, 8 million, you say? All right then, proceed to sell my cryptocurrencies immediately. Deduct the commission from my earnings. Yes, Mr. Su. I'll handle the trading for you right away to secure your profits. As Su-kan entered the room, his bank card received a notification. Your account, ending in 1908, your standard card received 100 million yuan via super online banking transfer at 1340 on September 5th. Sender account, ending in 0202, sender name, Billionaire digital currency exchange platform. Su-kan's small goal, 100 million yuan, had been credited. Then, the system also delivered a reward. For completing a small goal ahead of schedule, the system awarded 10,000 points to the system all. He hadn't expected the system to award him 10,000 points in one go. How many books would he have had to farm to get this many points? He hadn't imagined completing it with just one system task in 2 days. He had previously worried about not having enough experience points to farm, and thus not being able to redeem many mall points. Now, looking back, that worry was completely superfluous. The system mall's reward was indeed generous this time. He had spent 4 or 5 million today, and honestly, he still felt a pang of regret about it. After all, it was 4 or 5 million. But now that he had suddenly earned 100 million, the previous 4 or 5 million felt like mere pocket change. His mood greatly improved. Lin Luoran, seeing Su-kan hadn't come in, sprayed herself with perfume from her bag again. So, after Su-kan entered the room, he felt a delicate fragrance pervade the air, refreshing his spirit. He saw Lin Luoran had already taken off her shoes, revealing her fair ankles and long, shapely legs that felt like they could be played with for 10 years. Truly captivating. Looking further up, the campus belle lay flat on the bed, especially her chest, which seemed to be murmuring, come on, come touch me here. This made Su-kan so excited, so nervous his heart felt like it was about to pound out his chest, and his hands couldn't help but tremble slightly, forcing him to put them in his pockets. Although he felt he now possessed knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine and massage, Su-kan believed he could give Lin Luoran a comfortable massage without much trouble. After all, when preparing to massage Lin Luoran, Su-kan had spent 500 points in the TCM knowledge and skills category to acquire the massage master skill. His touch would surely make Lin Luoran feel incredibly relaxed. However, Su-kan suddenly received another system task. System interface. Kiss Lin Luoran. Offer the host's first kiss. Successful completion rewards 1,000 points. This reward was less than the 10,000 points the system had awarded earlier, but still significantly more than what he would get from farming many books. But making Lin Luoran comfortable with a massage and kissing her felt like two entirely different matters. However, if they kissed, wouldn't that mean he and Lin Luoran had already skipped a few steps? A kiss should count as her confession to him, right? Su-kan, why are your hands in your pockets? Didn't you say you're a massage master and we're going to give me a massage? Come here. Lin Luoran's voice, as she lay on the bed, was exceptionally magnetic and sweet. As she spoke, she even beckoned Su-kan. He hadn't expected the campus belle to be so impatient. Ah, yes, I'm coming over to massage you right now. As he drew closer to Lin Luoran, a refreshing fragrance emanating from her body grew stronger, different from the perfume smell from earlier. It seemed to be a natural body scent. Why was Lin Luoran so fragrant? He forcefully suppressed the stirrings within him. He pulled his hands out of his pants pockets, still slightly trembling. Su-kan, are you actually capable? Were you just bragging when you said you could massage? With the massage master skill, Su-kan's technique now possessed the foundation of decades of experience from an old, traditional Chinese medicine massage practitioner. He certainly wasn't bragging. No, I'm not. I'll show you my technique right now. First, turn over. I'll start by massaging your back. Su-kan felt that what he could least resist was a girl's soft chest, especially after having seen the photos Lin Luoran had sent of hers. He needed to calm himself down first, maybe give her a back massage. The campus bell obediently turned over, and then Sukin began to touch her back. As he made contact with Lin Luoran, he felt her body tremble slightly. His own hand was trembling a little too, after all. This was the first time he had ever touched, no, massaged, a girl's delicate shoulders. Although it was his first time giving a massage, Sukin not only had knowledge of various acupressure points from traditional Chinese medicine, but was also aided by master-level massage skill. His technique was gentle yet firm, firm yet gentle. After about just 3 minutes, Lin Luoran's face was already flushed red. The pleasurable sensation made her bite her lip and tightly shut her eyes, because she couldn't help but want to let out soft moans. She felt making any sound would be embarrassing, so she tried her best to hold back. She held back for 10 seconds. She held back for 30 seconds. She held back for a full minute. In the end, the campus bell simply couldn't suppress that comfortable feeling any longer. Sukan, your massage feels absolutely amazing. Campus bell Lin couldn't help but indulge in the pleasure, which now made Sukin feel tormented. Damn it, Lin Luoran's voice was too enticing. It practically melted into his bones. The sounds of comfort Lin Luoran made, because of the massage, made Sukin feel as if she were deliberately trying to seduce him. It even stirred some masculine reactions in Sukin. After all, he wasn't a real old-school TCM practitioner or a professional male masseur. He didn't have that kind of basic professional restraint. His whole body was restless. In his eyes, Lin had become a temptress. And he was a normal man, after all. He couldn't control his hands from wanting to do what a man ought to do. Ah, Sukin, your technique is really good. You must massage others often, right? Have you massaged other girls before? While massaging, Campus Bell Lin suddenly sounded almost jealous. You're the first girl I've ever massaged. Really? Really? Lin Luoran had her back to Sukin, but he could still sense the smile forming at the corners of her mouth. Then she turned over. You just made my back feel so incredibly good. Now, massage the front for me, too. Having turned over, Lin Luoran said it quite boldly. The front? Are you sure you want me to massage there? Sukin thought massaging the front would definitely be the most comfortable for his hands. After all, that part was the softest. Sukin moved his hands, preparing to start pressing on Lin Luoran's chest. Lin Luoran had initially nodded and said hum, but when she saw Sukin's hand about to land on her proud assets, she finally snapped back to reality and quickly crossed her arms to protect herself. Sukin's hands ultimately only landed on top of hers. He had been so close. Why did he have to remind her just now? What a shame. You don't need a massage there. Everywhere else is fine. Okay. Sukin began massaging Lin Luoran's arms and hands. Lin Luoran's soft arms, her slender, onion-like fingers. Sukin took the opportunity to cop a feel quite openly, of course. But he didn't stop his skilled hands for a moment, working on various pressure points, making Lin Luoran's moans of pleasure grow even louder. Sukin had also seen on TV people being massaged and shouting out. That kind of sound really felt like it was setting little fires all over his body. It was kind of torturous. Lin Luoran, is my massage too strong? You're making such loud sounds. Sukin's words brought Lin Luoran back to reality. Just moments ago, the massage had made her feel like she was ascending to heaven. Ah, Sukin, was my voice too loud? You're just massaging so well. I'll try to keep it down. After that, Sukin lightened his pressure a bit. After a few muffled sounds from Lin Luoran, she actually fell asleep. She fell asleep from the massage? Was it really that pleasurable? He kind of wanted to give himself a massage that felt that good. Since she had fallen asleep from the massage, Sukin didn't continue. After all, she wouldn't even know if he kept going. Sukin thought of the system's task. The system said it was a mission generated by his own inner desires. Was it really his own inner desire? He had indeed had the thought of kissing Lin Luoran at one point, but it felt like just a fleeting idea at a certain moment. It shouldn't be considered some deep-seated desire. But the system had assigned him the task of kissing Lin Luoran. And now she was asleep. Wasn't this a perfect opportunity to kiss the campus bell? Sukin leaned down and gave Lin Luoran's forehead a light peck, like a chick pecking at rice. Even though it was just a light peck, Sukin felt his soul take flight. This was his first time kissing a girl. And not just any girl, but Lin Luoran, who had been his goddess since high school. He had kissed Lin Luoran, and she hadn't woken up. But the system didn't give any notification about completing the mission. What was going on? This clearly meant that he had asked School Beauty Lin why she didn't come to complete the mission. Could it be that he had received a fake mission? Or was the Lin Luoran in front of him a fake, and she was actually a real goblin? Thinking that these possibilities were unlikely, the problem must lie with the word kiss. The character for kiss contains the mouth radical, implying that a kiss must be mouth-to-mouth. So, the system required him to kiss Lin Luoran's lips. Only then would it be considered a real kiss. Suka took a deep breath and slowly leaned down again, but his eyes were fixed on Lin Luoran's face. If she suddenly opened her eyes and woke up, he would immediately turn his head and pretend to pick something up from the ground. Getting closer bit by bit, he felt that his breath was about to brush against Lin Luoran's lips. Lin Luoran seemed to be in a deep sleep and completely unaware. Sukin got a little closer, and his lips finally reached the battlefield, touching Lin Luoran's lips, pressing gently against them. At that moment, it felt like being struck by lightning. Her lips were sweet, fragrant, and soft. So this was what first kiss felt like. Sukin was intoxicated by this feeling and, even as if possessed, stuck out his tongue and licked Lin Luoran's lips. This lick seemed to make Lin Luoran aware, and she let out a soft woo sound. Sukin was startled. If he could jump on a beam, he would definitely do it right away. If he could fly, he would fly away immediately. Lacking superpowers, he could only quickly straighten up and pretend to look around. He was extremely afraid of being discovered by Lin Luoran. Otherwise, he was worried that he would be beaten to death. His heart was pounding, thump, thump, thump. However, out of the corner of his eye, he still glanced at Lin Luoran. It seemed that only her eyelashes fluttered. Her eyes didn't open. That was close. I wasn't discovered. Ding. Mission completed. You have successfully received a reward of 2,000 points. The joy of the kiss. The joy of the points arriving. Sukin felt double the happiness. At this moment, the bedside phone rang. Student Lin pretended to be woken up and opened her eyes. Sukin answered the phone. Hello, this is the front desk. Do you need to extend your stay? The time for the hourly room was running out. Lin Luoran didn't extend time. Sukin really wanted to. Many times, a fake act eventually becomes real, especially after that kiss. If Lin Luoran confessed him now, Sukin would definitely agree immediately. During the 3-day couples tour, one day was to be spent at Lin Luoran's home. So Sukin said, I spent the morning buying things for my family. In the afternoon, let's pick some gifts for your parents. Lin Luoran said, You don't need to buy things for my parents. Let me correct you. It's you buying things for your parents, Sukin said. When a boyfriend visits his girlfriend's home for the first time, buying things for the girlfriend's parents is a matter of course. Sukin had received 100 million today. Buying some things for Lin Luoran's parents was just a drop in the bucket. However, he would still stick to his principle and never be a lapdog first. The things he bought for his family in the morning were paid for by himself, not by Lin Luoran. Although he had licked Lin Luoran's lips before, that kind of physical action didn't count as being a lapdog. Only the licking in words and spiritual soul counted. If she wanted him to buy things for her parents, then she had to confess to him first. He had sworn that if he became a lapdog again, he would be struck by lightning. At this time, Lin Luoran's eyes were half closed. They were in a cooperative relationship and were supposed to go Dutch. But hearing these words from Sukin made her extremely angry. Previously, she had been kissed by Sukin. This bastard now acted as if nothing had happened. She had been pretending to sleep at that time. Okay, I'll buy it myself then. I'll go alone. Don't follow me. She snorted and then left with her pretty face puffed out. Women are really changeable. What was there to be angry about? If she didn't need his company, that was fine. Sukin wouldn't follow her like a lapdog. Then see you at the airport tomorrow morning. With that, Sukin turned and left. He left so quickly. He was carrying a lot of things now. If he went shopping with Lin Luoran for the whole afternoon, how tiring that would be. Over there, Lin Luoran walked quickly at first, then slowly. She hoped that Sukin would catch up with her, but she never expected that Sukin would turn around and leave. She turned around and stamped her foot. Damn Sukin, stinky Sukin. This proud school beauty was now full of grievances and gritted her teeth. Here, Sukin hailed a car. Since he had bought quite a lot of things, he put them in the trunk of the taxi. With his hands free, he felt so comfortable. As the driver in front was driving, Soo-Kan took out his phone from his trouser pocket. Ever since Soo-Kan said in the group chat of his close friends, who were also drivers, that he had won over Lin Luoran and sent some photos of them having an intimate meal together, his friends had finally seen the signs of a staged photo and questioned him. Soo-Kan, not wanting to deal with it, simply blocked the messages from the group. But today, he took the initiative to open his best friend's driver's group chat, seeing them chatting about the Five-Finger Maiden and asking if there were any new resources. Every single one of them was just this pathetic. They could only talk a big game. They hadn't even held another girl's hand. He had already begun to feel that he was different from the single dogs in the group. I made out with Lin Luoran today. The moment Soo-Kan popped up, the high school best friends group instantly exploded. The Sour Grapes faction. A fine cabbage has been rooted up by a pig. I don't lean on walls. I only lean on admire. The Admiration faction. We just ate together a few days ago, and now you've kissed the school beauty Lin. That's too amazing. God, Sue, please accept my knees. Soo-Kan, just average, just average. The Serious Jealous faction. Soo-Kan, you're bragging again. Making out? Last time you ate together, it was all staged. Then came that photo again, sent over with various annotations. The photo was indeed staged. Lin Luoran had staged it to send to her family group, and he had forwarded it. Damn it, I was in such a good mood. Why did I go looking for trouble? Regarding the photo's authenticity, Soo-Kan wanted to dodge the subject again because it really was staged. But in his mind, the system's flat, monotone voice rang out. Mission. The host must complete a make-out session with Lin Luoran in front of his best friends. Success reward. 3,000 points. Failure. You know the drill. Me. Soo-Kan had always wanted to name his system, like the Peak of Life system or the Winner in Life system. But now he felt calling it the Success or Death system was most appropriate. Regarding this task from his system, Soo-Kan actually had desired this scenario in his mind just now. But how could he pull this off? Today's kiss was done in secret. Okay, he had just been bragging. He had bitten off more than he could chew. Since the mission was here, what could he do? He'd have to talk big first. He sent a message to the group. Just you wait. I'm going back with Lin Luoran this time. I'm taking her home. Let's find time to meet up, and when we do, I'll bring Lin Luoran over and make out right in front of you. I'll blind your dog eyes. The group chat was buzzing with excitement. Young and successful. This was Soo-Kan's current evaluation of himself. Just the book Godslayer alone had earned him millions in a short time. He generously announced in the classmate group that he, old Soo, would cover all expenses for this reunion. Soo-Kan is fing awesome. It's just pocket change. I'll even treat everyone to the best liquor, Remy Martin. Long live Soo-Kan. You may rise, my subjects. TCH. Upon returning to Jiangnan City, Soo-Kan took Lin Luoran back to his hometown. Well, he couldn't exactly say took, since they were both from Jiangnan, so they were returning together. The moment they arrived at the Soo family home, good gracious, all of the Soo family relatives and friends had come. Cousin, sister-in-law is much, much prettier than in the photos. Cousin Lingling clicked her tongue in amazement at Soo-Kan. Sister-in-law, how did my cousin trick you into his hands? Lingling, what kind of talk is that? What do you mean, trick? Your cousin attracted her with his own charisma. Okay. Son, don't lose such a beautiful wife. Seeing Lin Luoran, who was even more stunning than her photos, Soo-Kan's mother was terrified her son would get dumped later and felt sad in advance. Mom, don't worry. She's your future daughter-in-law. Your son is so outstanding. Lin Luoran wouldn't bear to let go. Son, now that you have a girlfriend, your face has gotten thicker too, huh? At the class reunion, many classmates were jeering and egging them on. Although the current Soo-Kan was the object of their envy, jealousy, and hatred, young people cared about face. They still clapped desperately to hype up the atmosphere for Soo-Kan. Do it! Do it! Lin Luoran didn't dodge either. She simply closed her eyes, though Soo-Kan could see there was still a slit. They weren't completely shut. Soo-Kan and Lin Luoran really kissed. It was a wet French kiss, one that took a while to get to. Lin Luoran had left only a sliver of her mouth open. He used his tongue to pry open her pearly teeth, followed by a deep French kiss. Since they were pretending, a kiss wasn't crossing the line, right? Soo-Kan thought so, and over there, Lin Luoran thought the same. It was hard to say who exactly wanted to turn the fake act into reality. After going from holding hands to kissing this time, everything else followed naturally. After obtaining the system, Sukin achieved success in both love and career. His physical fitness was outstanding under the system's enhancement. He participated in a marathon, and even while holding back, he broke the record. The new record he set was one that, unless humans evolved, would likely be insurmountable for all long-distance running records. Beyond these, Sukin made even greater contributions in the cultural sphere. He published numerous findings in the fields of mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and astronomy, winning Nobel Prizes until his hands grew weary from receiving them. Other major awards were innumerable as well, such as the Pulitzer Prize. His musical achievements surpassed Beethoven, and his artistic accomplishments outshone Picasso. By the time he graduated from university, the various honorary certificates he had accumulated filled an entire 1,000-square-meter villa. The whole place was packed to the brim. After winning a few awards early on, he stopped attending the ceremonies in person. However, universities, research conferences, and organizations worldwide continued to send honors via courier. It reached the point where Shunfeng Express specially assigned a dedicated courier just for him. 1 year after graduating from university, Su Can and Lin Luoran finally came together. Lin Luoran accepted Su Can's proposal, and he held a wedding of the century for her. World-renowned celebrities and tycoons flocked to the scene to celebrate God Su, this prodigy of humanity. The entire world sent their blessings and speculated whether Su Can and Lin Luoran would produce an offspring with an IQ as high as 300.